Not the safe word.
Hi everyone, that is not the safe word. Welcome to Transformers the Show, number 158. Tonight we've got loads coming up. We've got our top 5 Junkions. We're going to go through what Transformer would like to be. I'm going to give you live updates of the Man City Arsenal score, so pay attention for that. I might even turn the camera around and show you a little bit of it if we're winning.
No, we can't do that. That's copyright. Oh, that's copyrighted.
Do you know what? You're copyright. It's Friday night. It's 8 o'clock. It's time for the show.
May I have your attention, please? This is the captain of your ship! I'm sorry. We found this away! You left me broken hearted! But I never loved you anyway. No, I never loved you anyway. No, I never loved you anyway. No, I never loved you anyway.
Can't hold him. Right, welcome to tonight's show. We've got news coming up, loads of other stuff. How are you chaps? Alexis, you okay?
I am fine. I'm drinking Le Reserve Saint Dominique from my local. Is this from the butchers? Local wine butchers? I don't know. Yeah, I'm alright. You?
Good, thanks. I'm drinking Lambrini. Andy, how are you?
I'm good, mate. Like you, I'm on the Council Estate posh stuff. I'm on the Stella.
Stella's
That's not even Council Estate posh.
Stella's very low in calories, actually, like compared to like other beers. So,
According to the Daily Mash, it's the beer that's drank by people who are psychos. So
I found out how to spin my camera around. So
look good though.
when we used to use Zoom does your camera so it's mirrored, so it's like looking into a mirror, which feels a bit easier. But StreamYard does it the right way round, if you know what I mean. But if you go into options, I found out today you can flip it. They've added that option now, so you can put in mirror, so it makes it more natural.
No.
Because we used to hold up that hand, I'd be like, oh, that hand's going up. It's weird. Jamie, how are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. Thanks for asking, Paul. And how are you, Paul?
Do you know what? I am okay. I'm just excited. Oh, I'm not sure if I want this. People putting in the chat, City have scored. City have scored. I don't know if my stream is slow or people are just being complete bastards. I think it's the bastard bit.
There's a 60-second delay on Sky. Now I can't remember. I think it was. It was
streams are slow.
There was someone saying that there was a particular. If you watch it for a certain channel, it's almost like live. I can't remember. I'll find out which one it was. We were talking about it yesterday.
It's ITV that it's on.
Is it ITV? Where it's like.
I mean, Paul, you know Mayline's a fan of Arsenal, don't you?
Yes, I remember.
And she's always worried about giving you the scores because she's always quite excited. But then I tell her, but you might not have seen the game and you'll spoil it for them. And then
It is a conundrum.
Pleasantries, the show.
Right.
Mayline.
Should we kick off with Hasbro news?
Yes. Sorry. Are you asking? Oh, I thought you were doing more of a statement. I forgot to trim my beard.
Hasbro. Alexis, fuck off. Stop it. Minge.
I talk some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
Oh, dear.
Transformers.
Right, people were reporting on this at the start of the week because, in fact, it was last weekend, I think, because it features artwork that features, obviously, the character models from the new Transformers Rise of the Beast film, but these are from some ready-to-read level 2 reading books. So there you go. I think it's Scourge in particular. People were excited at the image, if that's what he's going to look like in the film, because it's the clearest I think we've really seen. I know we saw the toy, but obviously the toy isn't necessarily completely screen accurate.
Does it
so there you go.
Fire inside, does it?
I hope it does. If it glows, that would be great. Although you'd have to have the batteries, wouldn't you?
I have a theory about Scourge. I think that he obviously is a beast, and he only obviously transforms into the truck to stay hidden until he finds Prime, and now he's got nothing to lose. I reckon Scourge is going to turn into some sort of big dragon beast at the end. And it's been like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's just my theory.
I mean, that face sculpt and everything. It's again, they've gone for that medieval knight kind of, or is that more like a samurai? Anyway,
it looks like a pharaoh, I think.
You think? I think that was more the Fallen. I like the Autobot badges that he collects from the ones he's killed. That's always entertaining as
It
well.
looks nothing like a pharaoh, really at all.
It looks like a cow. It looks like a cow. It looks like a
I wasn't going to
like
cut him straight down, Jamie,
Lich
but you
King.
go for it.
That's what he looks like. A Lich King literally looks like that.
How many Lich Kings do you fucking
Lich
know?
King. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been out with a few. Anyway, and then there's this picture which shows
What
Optimus
sort of
Primal.
fantasy games do you play, Alexis? Do you even look at the cards?
He's mostly on Uno. Anyway, then we had photos of the prototype of Victory Saber, which was just interesting to see the actual prototype. And some of these have been cropping up on things like eBay, haven't they?
So someone sells for sale? Is that right? Is someone selling this?
I don't know if this particular one is, but some of them have been cropping up on eBay. There was an Omega Supreme one, although some people were doubting whether that was genuine. There was another one as well, and I can't remember if it was this one or something else. But yeah, they've been cropping up, and if you want to own that bit of Transformers history, they weren't cheap. They were thousands of dollars, but you know,
Really?
some people will pay that, won't they?
Yeah.
Or you could just have the other version for, you know, well, not cheap anymore, but you know.
The thing about prototype is a bit of history.
Exactly. That's why people would want it.
You can't transform them because they break.
I'm assuming this will have been used by the designers as well. So this is actually being, you know, this is literally, as you say, a piece of history. And a lot of people are interested in and will pay money to see that kind of bit of Transformers history and own it if they can.
It's weird that we haven't seen anything like Unicron, though, prior to this. I mean, as a
I thought there was a Unicron one. In fact, I think that's the other one I'm thinking of. There's a Unicron prototype that's knocking about there as well.
Is it?
Yeah. Definitely seen that. Anyway, Rise of the Beasts. Now, this is the Studio Series one, isn't it, Jamie?
Yes.
The deluxe. Is it deluxe or Voyager sized?
Well, you're just like, it's quite large.
Thank you. I mean, it looks all right.
It's good. It's a good baboon.
It does have a kind of monkeyish
It
look to
does
it.
seem to be lacking. I mean, I know it's got a lot of detail there, but it does seem to be lacking paint, even though it's got, like, you know, the spots and stuff like that. It just seems to be, I don't know. It's almost like it's been skinned, hasn't it?
Predator. Oh no, that's not going to work. Predator got to it. That's where people have made done comparison photos with like baboons and monkeys walking on all fours and say it just looks like that. But you know, kids aren't going to care. And as a collector, I'm sure you can find some interesting way of posing it so it doesn't look so.
It doesn't look
rubbish.
skinned, like he's been skinned alive.
Well, that's the colours. Oh god, yeah. And then we've got this,
cartoon.
which I'm going to have to hang on.
Oh, we've entered the
There we
zoom
go.
range.
So this was the listings that have been shared that apparently are Smith's listings for their upcoming figures. So Metal Hawk is one of the ones that people were excited about. We've got a Voyager Metal Hawk coming. I was reading up on, because we're doing the Junkions obviously in foreplay, and I was reading that there were actually two Junkions that were referred to in, well, I think it was the comic books as Junkion 1 and Junkion 2. So that might be, you know, the whole thing of everybody saying, why is it called Junkion 2? What's its real name? Well, that actually might be the name they've given it to it, Junkion 2. Come up with your own version, I suppose, then. And then there was someone else people were excited for. Twincast, that was it. The Voyager Twincast is another one that I saw people getting excited about. Anybody else? Anything?
Who's Oscar? Who's Butch?
That was Oscar, Apollo, and Butch, I believe, were the code names that they gave to some of the Rise of the Beasts figures, so that they wouldn't give away the names of the characters. Okay. And I'm assuming they're still using those.
Okay, Hero Team Megatron Gator.
I'm sure I've seen a picture of that. It's like more of a kiddies, you know, smaller. What's it called? Rescue Bot style thing. Yeah. But you know, I'm sure some people still want to pick it up. I don't know why, when it downloads onto here, instead of just fitting it to the screen, it insists on shrinking it. I've got to zoom in. But there you go. Anyway.
Mask Bumblebee.
I don't know what else.
It's interesting to see Leo Convoy there when, I mean, I guess that's some of the stuff that's been released, isn't it? Because Leo Convoy has been released as Leo Prime.
Needle and Nose.
Tarn's already been released. You know, so obviously Smiths have still to get them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're doing a lot of. I know it's that time of the year when they clear out the stock anyway, but I was able to get across to what I call my local Smiths. It's 40 minutes drive away, and their Transformers section was almost non-existent, and and it was poor, and most of it was still full price. As we'll get up to in pickups, there was only one discounted bot that I could find, but yeah, there you go. Anyway, and there is Twincast and Metal Hawk, at least from there. G1 artwork for anyone who wasn't sure what they looked like or isn't familiar with the characters.
I like Metal Hawk. Metal Hawk was the main. He was the main sort of starting character, lead character in Rudy's favorite.
Super God Master Force.
Super God Master Force. He was the one that.
Yeah, he was the Japanese exclusive pretender that we never got because they didn't feel we needed him.
He worked with the human
Did
scientist.
we have a version of Metal Hawk already?
We've had a version of Metal Hawk from Trigger Happy, the Trigger Happy mold that was in that
I've got
box
that
set.
behind me. Haven't I?
Yeah. But I think this is supposedly more of an independent mold, but he's a pretender, isn't he? So
I like
we
the
just
Trigger
get
Happy
the robot.
one. He looks quite good. It'd be interesting to see if it's actually as good as that.
The Trigger Happy mold's a really good mold as well. So
Yeah.
Anyway,
It
we
might
move on.
not be. It might be. Pish.
Then, this was being reported on by TFW 2005. So these are original prints from the Toei animation team who did
How big
Transformers
is her
3.
head? It's huge.
Well, these were the original designs that apparently were sent over to Marvel for them and Hasbro to then comment on any changes that they wanted making. And somebody's got
Give
hold
her a
of these.
smaller head.
Yeah, somebody's got hold of these, and apparently they're going to go up for sale for auction. But there's quite a lot of them, and again,
how big are the
people
prints?
just refuse to show them. I don't know. They were printed out on photostat, so that's basically photo quality. Not paper, is it? But you know what I mean. It's like having a printed out photo, so it looks like a cell from an animation.
Because these are the same as what you actually get in the so before.
Does the universe have an RC with the head that size? I don't think so.
No, the ones in the universe were Marvel artists, not Toei. So these are the ones drawn by the Toei.
You just saw a fucking
not
RC.
exactly the same.
She's got a head of the size of a planetoid. I mean, she's got its own weather system.
I'll dig the book out of the loft.
You dig it up and wank over it if you want, but it's not going to change anything.
It's not going to change reality. Unicron looks slightly different. He also looked fatter, but I mean, he did look different. I wonder if that was anything to do with what the toy was looking like, whether they had the prototype of that at that
His
point.
old crotch thrust.
And then, as always, we always like
There's
to
a
see
butt shot.
back of him.
For
There's the butt shot. He does look he does look like he's been pigging out on the planet. Springer, who these were all just basically kind of what they ended up looking like, but these were what the Toei animators had created based on the instructions they'd been given, and then it just needed checking. And these apparently are going to go up for sale through eBay.
Yeah, because I'm sure some of the pictures haven't been changed that much, and some will.
No, I mean most of them to me look pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. It's another piece of that Transformers history, like prototypes, where people will pay, a lot of money for this. Cup, who I believe in some of these pictures was referred to as Old Cup. Just in case anybody was not sure about his age. And of course, everybody's favourite, Wheelie. Has he got more red on him? Or is that just me that thinks that? But yeah, it's a nice little bit of Transformers history that people will be able to pick up. Oh, look, a Junkion. Just referred to as Junkion. He didn't have the name Rekgar at that point. Blur, looking very purple. Again, Big Ed. I wonder if that's the same person that drew RC.
Blurple.
But yeah,
I've just
a little
looked
bit of Transformers history.
I've just looked at Transformers Universe, but RC looks completely different in the heads face.
No, they're not the same pictures.
Yeah.
But they're done in a similar style, I suppose. Now, remind me who this train bot is, because I'm not really.
Is it Strong Arm? Strong Arm, I think.
Sensei. He's got a Japanese name.
He's the arm bot, isn't he?
Is it Sensei? Somebody in the chat will tell us. Anyway, I can't see his name on there, and then I don't speak Japanese. This is from the Japanese Fans Hobby magazine that often shows pictures from Takara of their bots, and yeah, it's the backpack bot, which I know Paul's a big fan of.
They had backpacks in the cartoon. They didn't feature much in the cartoon, to be honest. Wasn't much.
Was there Victory they were in?
Yeah, no, it was Master Force again. Sorry, Headmaster. Sorry, they featured in.
I never finished Headmasters.
In the intro to Master Force, but they were in there, and they were there as sort of basically the transportation. So they were like a Mega Supreme or Skylinks at the time. They came up against Predaking, but you had all the other combiners, and like I think Arafai was saying on his channel yesterday, he said he imagined all the combiners the same size. They put them all the same size in that cartoon as well. So but they were there really as a transportation unit, like to take the smaller bots everywhere, because otherwise it was Maximus, and Maximus always got the lake. Otherwise, it didn't make it dramatic like they always do.
I think we
there's
should ask Arrowfire, to be honest, because we just can't trust them anymore, can we?
And that's the Takara bots we've already seen. Well, it's the same as the Hasbro ones from the Rise of the Beast film as well. Bumblebee and the other lad whose name's escaped me for now. What's he called? Battle Trap. And there you go. That's about it. It's been a fairly slow news week so far. Pardon? No, Scrapbook's the Junkion. Different figure, different line. Right, third party. Have we got an intro for that?
Oh, do you know what? We bloody well have. And we are massive thank you to Lee Hancock, who supplied the intro. So, Lee, thanks so much for this, you cheeky little legend, for doing this for us. So, yeah, it's third party time. And we've got a new third party intro. So, here it is.
Believe it or not, this is the fun part.
And we should say as well, if anyone else wants to do an intro, as long as it relates to something cool like third party, please do. There's nothing Hasbro related.
It is the fun part as well. It's all the good stuff. So do you have pictures? Sorry.
No, if you're going to be so disrespectful to me. I
should have done the disrespectful thing after you got the photo.
Move on. Pickups time.
It'd be so fun 1 week you just put like pictures of poo up for it. Yeah, I've got your pictures.
Right, here we go. So the first thing is Thunder King, which is the combined mode of the Fanstoys. Now, well done, Lee. That was really good. Now do one for me, man. Son of a bitch. These are some very nice but very static photos. Well, fairly static photos of the Thunder King, but you get a feeling of the color of it. Apparently, that's what it looks like if you're squatting to take a dump.
You imagine a big throne behind it, couldn't you? There.
That sword is humongous. Everybody should go and check out Arrowfire's channel for his combination video and review of the combined mode, and all of his other videos of the reviews of the other figures. But it was interesting listening to him discussing the fact that it wasn't fun to put together, and he was messaging us, wasn't he, over the course of about 3 days trying to get this thing together, and it's just it looks fantastic. Don't get me wrong, it looks absolutely spectacular, but if it's as difficult to do as Arrowfire discussed in his video, I get the feeling this is one of these pieces you put together and then you just leave it.
He's got small little hands. He hasn't got big chocolate.
He's short, hands. Isn't he? He's very small, man. Not very tall.
Do you know what?
He's recently started developing a thing of just like copying people's looks. It's really strange for him. I'm not sure what he's doing there. But you're looking good, by the way, Ian. And that's why we have some of his photos too.
Is he still doing
these? Are Ian Arrowfire's photos. So these last two, he was only able to get me 2. And it does look, undeniably, it looks spectacular.
Yeah.
For me, and he discussed it in his video, having a figure like this and transforming it and putting it together should be fun and should be enjoyable. And he said himself he didn't enjoy it. But obviously the end result looks spectacular once you get it together. For that much money.
He still gave it the most Rodimus stars.
We gave it 5.5 out of 6, which I did think was probably based more on the final thing in front of him than actually the whole experience.
Because the overall bot is, as I said, like the overall, he apart from Dive Bomb's connection port, which again there is issues generally around that. But and then obviously
again, if you're spending that much money on these things, there shouldn't be an issue like that, should there? Because we've given Hasbro so much shit for stuff like that. Well, these cost hundreds of pounds too, and surely there shouldn't be like he had to get part of it together. I
haven't done that. I haven't looked at that. So for example, I'm trying. I think it was I want to say I think MMC. They not Dive Bomb.
Are we still talking about
MMC Blast Off weighed a lot. MMC Blast Off weighed a lot more than Vortex. So the ratchet didn't actually hold the figure. So when you just did that. So what they did when they released Vortex, they sent out a spare ratchet. So you could change. They addressed the problem with it with the port.
Right. So maybe Kang Toys will do the same
potentially. But again,
I think this is a problem that's come up with other people's as well.
But to your point as well, like do you transform it and then leave it like that? There's only 2 combiners that I've ever taken back into rope mode and back again into combine mode, which has been Toy World's Constructor, which is the Devastator, and then MMC Bruticus, the Combaticons.
Gab, what do you mean by over stylized?
It's got lots
It's,
of.
if you look though, it's
got
right.
lots of
It's the whole thing of over the top design things, like all the spiky bits that are just a little bit too much of it. See, to me, it doesn't look like Predaking. It's in the colours.
Understylized be like a GoBot.
Like real understylized would
Thanks
be
for
like your
joining us
cartoon
live.
accurate, really plain to me. Anyway, let's get on with Menasor,
colour-
because
the
otherwise
colours
third
are
party
right.
is going to take us till about 12
The
o'clock.
colours are right, but it's just a shiny. So it's like Shredder versus Super Shredder.
But it's not just the shininess, is it? That's not just
That's what I mean.
the
Like, it's like-
design of all of it. Like
It's the point. It's like Super Shredder.
the colours are the only
Shredder.
thing that's actually accurate.
If you remember Turtles 2, he was a bit too pointy, wasn't he? He wasn't like the Shredder you knew in the cartoon.
He was mutated for fuck's sake.
Exactly, a bit too pointy. He's just a little bit pointy.
2 point. He was only in it for about 5 minutes and then he was dead, although not. Anyway, moving on.
Well,
Menasor. Why are we looking at this Menasor again? Remind me, we've seen this before, so what's the reason that
So
it's back?
there's a new third party. If you can read out from the comments I put on the chat as well.
No, because I haven't got it in front of me, because you're the
I
third
will
party
get-
expert and it's
I
why you're
will
here. You're the one who's supposed to know this. That's why you do
I should
third
remember.
party.
All right. So there
Is it anything to do with this?
Yes,
That
that's
they've stuck a
correct.
couple of lumps of plastic to the back
You
of
can
it?
actually now, if you want to, have the cars on the front. There's a new third party kit. I said third
Oh,
party.
it's a clip.
3D printed.
Right, I get it now.
3D printed, and if you want this, it is made by.
When people say 3D print, does anyone else just turn off like completely? Like I could not be
By
more turned off when people say 3D printed. Just don't care.
And usually it's someone that Alexis knows who promises to mention on the show so he can
Yeah,
get
by
money off.
So we can get it cheap.
It's by,
Yeah.
I'll put it in the in the.
Anyway, they're there.
Oh,
Probably
and then you
tells
can
him he
clip it
does
to the
all
front.
the work, and
There you
you know
go.
it's he runs the
So
thing.
hang on. Did they clip to the back before?
Yes, they do clip to the back.
Right, so just like the Hasbro one. Just
What?
checking. Just wanted to know.
Yes,
Moving on.
so you can have it on the front if you want as well.
It's the aircraft carrier one, isn't it? From
This is the biggest. I think it's the biggest one they've had. I put lots of pictures in because again, I want to show the detail of the face and the.
Is this over stylized? Because I'm still not sure.
This
With
is,
that.
brand new, this is the brand new piece. This is the main
this
face
is
of the broadside.
exceptionally Japanese, as they say. Very
So
good, like Gundam look for the
is
head.
Bisto in the chat? Is Bisto still collecting these? Because I know he got one of them. I think he was a little bit underwhelmed by one, but I don't know if he's changed his mind on them since.
Got a little brother.
Bisto's
Bit
got
of
one
football
left
going
there.
on, bit of crowd atmosphere. I like it. It's like doing the show live in front of an audience.
It's a combiner.
Oh, sorry,
What's the score, Paul?
It's 0-0.
Oh, those
Arsenal were
lines.
all over City.
Lined up merchants.
All over City, and Trossard is fucking right getting into them. He's had 2
Is he?
shots on goal so far.
Referee
Although
have
Haaland's
that.
already had 2
Referee
bicycle
have him.
kicks.
Which prime is this that they've stood him next to for scale? Because they didn't have
MP10.
a cat. That's just why did everybody uses MP10?
This one.
Or use a cat. I just
To get a
don't
cat.
know.
And that's a massive shield piece, isn't it?
It's got a
Is that
shield.
actually
It's got
part of
Massive
the
shield.
shield?
Massive shield.
There he is as an aircraft carrier. Or
Looks
Hitchy.
pretty
Who
good.
knows?
That'll go well with
You
your G.I.
wrong.
Joe, Jamie.
You wrong. You wrong.
No, it wouldn't,
there
because my GI Joe figures are 6 inches. So
Yeah, that probably wouldn't scale too well.
You could have them as props.
You can have him as 2 boats that MP10 can then, stand next to like their surfboards.
There we go. He can motorboat those now. Between
Comes
them.
along with lots of little
What's-
accessories that you'd get apparently on an aircraft carrier. And then we're on to whatever this is. What is this? Is this another one of them? Or is this something different now?
Is this the something cat? Is it?
Lucky Cat, it says.
Is it Lucky Cat, is it?
MCO4X Majin.
Is it Lucky Cat? Is it Lucky Cat?
It's Lucky Cat.
It's Lucky Cat. So they've teased a picture of Prime. No, that's not. Is that Prime? No, that's not a picture of Prime. That's a stylized Prime. Next picture, I think, is a stylized Jetfire. It looks like an old school Jetfire or Shockwave. It looks like it's.
I think it
that
looks
looks,
like
that looks like
Jetfire.
by a Gundam,
Yeah.
doesn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. It looks like
The original
Valkyrie
Gundam style.
Valkyrie Jetfire.
No, what's it called? No, you know.
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie,
Jetfire.
that's it. Thank you.
Valkyrie Jetfire. And then they've started, and then this is sort of Bumblebee-esque Prime and Bumblebee. So from Bumblebeeverse. Is it Bumbleverse?
Bumblebee
Good.
versus Fire.
The new one, yeah. So I don't know why it says timeline and now. So that to me doesn't make
Cross Valkyrie, you savages.
So-
God, I love you, Gav. Knowledge is power, Gav, and we have neither. Extreme trans, there you go.
Who's a savage? Who's worse, Gab? You keep coming back.
The savage or the savage who watches the savage?
That's it.
Anyway, there you go. You can probably buy these at some point. From,
No,
from
Sam Thompson. I
Josie.
didn't watch your video because I don't watch third party stuff or
And
master.
this came out. This was. I've only seen photographs of this today. It came out. We saw it drop, and this is an oversized.
Please stop saying drop. You're not 20 years old. It just doesn't work at our age.
This is
You're missing top of the pops.
Jim Bow Deformation 6-shot, which is which is overscaled. So is that the
say wizard? Let's bring wizard back if we're going to bring any word back.
Is this the chug version upscaled, or is it the actual legend version? It looks like the chug.
I think it's
the legend version.
That's
that's not a chug version.
That's not chug. No, it's got that slightly more anime look to it. That's a little bit softer and around the edges. And stuff.
And it looks kind of dainty, doesn't it?
Comes with the swords. That's nice.
Yeah, that's look at it.
I put that on because it's got the overscaled jet fire in the back, so you can see, and it's got the Studio Series barricade as well, so you can sort of judge that for scale if you want there. And I think
got a hand there. You can see the scale quite well, unless the guy's deformed. You know,
maybe he's a giant. That looks very G1-esque, but then again, they usually do.
It does. That's what I put.
Legs and everything, especially the back legs. I mean, not much you can do with those, is there? I think people forget that with 6-shot that it was 6 different modes, for Christ's sake. You can't expect that much.
It's got quite a good articulation there. You can get him into some decent poses if you want to as well. So
cat for scale.
I like that. So there's a drunk Iron Man figure at the back there. It was Tony Stark in everyone. That one.
Yeah. Anyway, and then there's this, which is from Funby Studios, and this is 3D printed. Paul will love this.
Very
so
clever.
this is based off a.
This is a height of third-party engineering.
Yeah, this is. It really is. This is based off a character who was in Transformers Cybertron and Galaxy Force for like 2 minutes, basically, and he turns into traffic lights. And if I remember correctly, his best friend is a payphone, and they're just stuck on a road in the middle of nowhere. And it's just like, what was going on here?
You mean his only friend?
This is Signal Lancer, and somebody's done a 3D printable thing. And to be fair,
was this a cartoon character?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Everyone gets like to be a UFO, a tank, and you go, "What's the matter?" But fucking traffic lights.
Traffic lights. You're joking, but what was Soundwave at the start of the G1 cartoon? He was a friggin'
because you can play
was a street light.
What do you do? Go from red to amber to green.
It's like the canoe bot from Family Guy. But this one comes with a lance because Signal Lancer. Anyway, so
there
this
was
is going to be available.
There was homage to this in the first Bay movie, wasn't it? Because there was like when the Allspark went nuts, it turned the vendor machine and like the mobile phone and things like inanimate objects into things like this, right? He would have been
not
like,
sure that was in homage to this. I don't think Michael Bay went to Cybertron and went, "Do you know what I'm going to do in the film now?"
Good as you get.
Have some crappy things transform, but he goes well nicely with your Transformers Cybertron style figures. That's the new Legacy Velocitron override there, and that's the original because there's only been one real version of the Vector Prime. They've recolored him a couple of times, but it's the same toy mold.
Are you going to get him?
And then this, I'm not particularly bothered because it turns into a traffic light and that shit. The robot mode reminds me of Rumble and
I try to think of something more useless, like maybe a washing basket.
To be fair, it's like Cosmos there. Hey, it's quite a decent size if that's Cosmos.
There's a third-party one that turns into a urinal. There's one that turns into a urinal, one that turns into actually a proper toilet.
I suppose that's what they could say to him. It's not just traffic lights; you turn into massive traffic lights.
And there's a bit of information that I chucked in there just so you can know. At 7:50, I was rushing around. Oh, your battery was at 74%. Anyway, there you go. A little bit of information if you don't know. And there's the bit that explains that his friend is a payphone. There you go. God. Exciting times. And that was all the news that was worth reporting on. And that also we had.
Third party give you the
mostly
toys
that
you
we
don't
had.
Want.
Thanks, Andy. Great
things
news.
We don't want and don't need.
Great news. Great banter. Right.
You didn't pay attention to any of it. That's whatever it was you were talking about.
Are fucking all over the city. It's
What was your
insane.
favourite part of the news this week, Paul?
We are running city ragged. Yes. Sorry.
What was your favourite part of the news this week, mate? What was your figure you think?
That 3D printed tank. That was brilliant. Love that.
Awesome.
I'm definitely getting that when I get my 3D printer. I love how jagged the edges look as well when they're 3D printed.
Brilliant.
What should we do next? Let's do
that
pickups.
rough look as if someone took a nail file to it. Yeah, that's what you want these days.
Like as if it's shit. Like really shit. Right, pickups.
We now Transformers.
The show. Yes, it's time for pickup. So this week we go through all the Transformers we've got. Who would like to go first?
I can go first.
Yes. Cool. There you go, sir.
So this week I picked up Leo Prime, Leo Evolution Prime, and I've got to say, I mean, you might be photogenic unless you've got a real connection to the character. I might not really recommend it, and I'll explain why. I mean, first of all, those shoulder things, you know, are a bit ridiculous, and the making of kibble. I know it's kibble in the back, but they got the kibble with the arms as well. It's sort of like the cat claws, etc. And it's quite awkward to sort of move around and stuff. And once you do get a pose, you can keep it, but it's just, I don't know. It's maybe because I never watched the cartoon when this guy came out, and I just don't have any connection. But you know, but then Transmetal 2 Megatron, I never had a connection with him, but really liked the figure and liked the mold. Or Tarn, you know, another great example of a figure I didn't really know about, but obviously had built up a kind of mythology about him. So yes, an instant like. Leo Plane, I think I would have liked him more if he was bigger instead of like a midget version. It's more like a house cat to me than I would have considered what I would have imagined them to be. So just looking at some photos there, you know, but as I said before, he looks kind of cool. He's got poses. He's definitely got a scowl on his face, like he's angry. And looking up on the character, he was quite, you know, he wasn't like the compassionate Optimus Prime we knew from G1. He was quite a sort of angry but very brave and heroic character, rash and quick to make decisions. But yeah, I mean, he does look good. You know, he's just got that. What's that?
Are those his guns? Those little.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing there is what you see is his guns, and he's got guns that can open up from flaps from his arms. You know,
they look all right, but the little pistol things look a bit.
Yeah. But then he comes up with even more guns with his evolution gimmick, which I'll show you a bit later. But as I said before, he poses okay, and there's his evolution gimmick with the big arms for the cat, the lion, come over, and you bring out these two flipper things from the back of the paws, and they're like even more lasers apparently. But I think it could have been something better. I don't know, like swords or something, you know, something where you could just ram his opponents. But I guess was it in the cartoon? Did he have that? Or is this evolution gimmick something new?
I have no idea. It's Beast Wars 2, isn't it? So
yeah,
or Beast Wars Neo. Sorry, there were a few. No, it's big, like in certain yeah.
The colours do work good, and it's lovely. And for the first time, you know, I feel like I've got an Optimus Prime head sculpt, which is actually painted quite well and is quite smooth, and nothing really needs to be done to it. You know, it was no real errors I could see. There is lion mode, and again, you know, with it, I think it's kind of static. You know, I've got this lion, and it's kind of static. The head doesn't move. The jaw will open and close, so that's something.
Looks like a sad lion.
You know, yeah, and I think the eyes are quite dead. The eyes are almost like they've been, I don't know, a lecture or something like that, or you know, they've just watched a GoBot episode, and you know, they just want to end their life. It's
just through third-party news.
Yes,
dick.
You know. But it does look good, and you know, the guns can flip out as well, and suddenly
something about Mary Star.
You got this line,
his hairstyle,
the Medusa attack. I don't know if it's got a sexy name, but I just think of Medusa, you know, with the being comes sort of alive. It's sort of a close up there. Yeah, but yes, he looks okay. It's a cool line.
If they release another Beast Wars,
the idea is there with Optimus Primo riding him, you know, like a night, not in a sexual way at all.
Describe yourself.
It's all right.
I just thought I should have to say that with Alexis here. You explain it.
It's homage,
you know, a homage to a night. Yes, homage to a night.
The Spring and Razor, when Spring was a night.
You know, you keep thinking the Planet of the Apes films, you know, when whatever rode an animal, you know, so yeah, and there's all three of them together. As you can start to see the sort of size there, you know, Leo Prime's the same as Optimus Primo, and they're obviously both quite a bit shorter than Optimus Prime. And with Optimus Prime, what kind of worked with him because he's sort of stocky and sort of big built. Real Prime, it just seems like he's like a 10. I don't know. He's like a smaller version, diluted version of Optimus Prime.
Has he got a seagull on his left shoulder?
That's what it kind of looks like as well. It just doesn't look that great, does it? It's like a lion on one side, a dove on another side, or a seagull. It's just, But thanks for that, Alexis. I told you that, and then you went used it. But good, hey, well done. So.
How to ruin a figure with modern life.
Yeah, I think I'll keep my opinions to myself in the future before we do a review. So there's Optimus Primal.
Hasn't that happened before where you've told him something
Yeah,
you were going to
and then
say?
he just went,
He just charges in and nicks it like it was his.
Yeah.
All credit to Jamie Lee.
Yeah, I know. So there we've got Optimus Primal, Optimus Prime, and Rio Prime. And as I said before, he just looks like a diluted version of Optimus Prime. But I do like all three of them together, and I do quite like that shot there, sort of action shot. There's the Optimus Primal and Leo Prime together. Sort of a bit idea of like a scale, as I said, they're about the same size. There's the beast modes together. And they do look good together. I mean, he does look good static, but to be honest with you, I just there's Universe RC. Quite different.
It's quite a disturbing face.
Yeah.
It's a disturbing.
All right,
face.
it's like it's probably the head. It's
slightly. It's a big fucking difference. The head's turned around. The head's a bit small.
I think it's mirror image. It's just the head.
Anyway, I've got to be honest with you. I unless you've got a real connection with this, I just don't. I find it hard to recommend. Transforming it is a bitch. I mean, seriously, getting the arms into the chest, you're kind of like squashing it. And there it's like Transmetal Megatron too, like this sort of thing of squashing things into the chest area and hoping it just tabs in properly, and then it does. And it's just awkward, tedious. It happens, you don't really need to force anything. It's just tedious to do, and it's not much enjoyable. And it's apart from the legs. I mean, seriously, they go that way. I would like them to be a little bit more articulation there, and the angles to be better. Like I would like the paw to be able to go backwards, because then you could do better poses. I just think this, double jointed. I think that's something they could have done, and that would have improved a lot. And I think it would have been good to have the paws double jointed or something like that. I mean, it's nice to see big paws, because if you look at the other cats in the Beast Wars, they all do have, like, it seems like small feet syndrome. This thing to me has got proper sized feet. Yeah. So that's something. At least I moved in that direction. Give those cats big feet. Or big paws.
It looks like a baboon, like Cheetor looks like. But to a point, I don't think the Masterpiece version of that, I haven't ever played it myself, but I'm pretty sure I remember it being fairly similar to your review there, in a sense of like for an MP as well. Like it was just like lacking, like the face sculpt and the articulation in the areas you wanted it to be. It just didn't perform. So it's a shame, really.
Alafaya, and thanks for the comments from people. Really nice. Thank you again.
Cool, super. Is that it for pickups, Mr. James?
Yes, that's all me.
Cool, cheers, mate. Who would like to go next?
I can go if nobody else is gonna. Alexis, you go. Go on.
I don't mind. I've got a lot to go through, so.
Alexis, you've highlighted Arifire's comment, which is smash the like, everyone. Which we agreed we would never like for likes or subscribers.
We
Is that what that meant?
If everybody watching this wanted to smash the like button, we wouldn't ask for them to do that, or to subscribe and share it. And make
if
sure
anything,
their friends
unsubscribe.
subscribe. We wouldn't do that. No, we don't go that far.
Hate mail.
Say unsubscribe.
Delete us. Report us for our copyright content.
We are free subs.
We're so edgy. We want you to unsubscribe. We want you to unsubscribe. Just the four of us sat here.
A
every
new
night
wave Transformers show.
We're not going to advertise.
We
don't care what you think.
We're not going to push people to do to subscribe to us on Twitch. Then
We don't
Twitch
even
Prime,
care
whatever.
what we think.
Twitch Prime. If you don't subscribe to him on Twitch Prime, subscribe to Transformers the Show.
Yeah, Dave, Primo is a much better toy. Really had a lot of fun with that toy.
Super. Right, Alexis, do you want to go next?
Yeah. Okay. I got slag. I got slag. So I managed to get one of these guys. AliExpress. If anyone wants one at a reasonable price, which I got this guy for 55 quid or 50 quid.
That's good.
So AliExpress.
Good.
I still got them. Is that it for his tail? Is that how it's meant to go?
Jamie?
Yeah, I just have it. Yeah, I do. That's
Angles
fine.
like that. Is that right? Just
Yeah,
like that.
sometimes you do what. Yeah, it depends.
Angle or
Sometimes
dangle?
you don't want it to look like
And
a
then
dick,
these sort of.
depending on the angle you're looking at it.
I've got
So
my
you might
upgrade.
want it in more. But you know what I mean? You don't want it hanging there like a penis.
I know we don't ask for subscribers, like
you know.
ever, but could someone just go and subscribe because we're at 799 and I really want it to be 800.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, make it
One
an account.
person
I didn't
watching.
realise
No,
you were
don't do that.
799.
Be
You should
the
much more
power.
polite and courteous today. Oh, that's
Message your
wonderful,
mum.
Alexis.
Cham, go onto that YouTube channel. No, don't look at my search history. No, don't look at it. Sexforce.com's
Sam,
a perfectly normal website to go on.
That's it, no. Sorry, just second that, Sam.
Oh, there's love. Right, what else did you get, mate?
Ho-ho. I
You'd
got
make
some
a good
joy.
Jimmy Savile, obviously,
I got
without the
some joy.
sexual bit.
Oh,
Joy
let's
in
see.
toy form. Some joy in toy form.
Oh, that is so
Wow,
sexy.
you've got
my
more of
Space
these.
Wolves. Got my Space Wolves. They finally came. Oh, fuck,
But you
it's
said
got tape.
you didn't know if you liked them or not.
No, but I ordered these at the same time as my wolf, and they were just
Ah.
delayed in the post from Show Z. They actually had to send the second set out. So, fuck, he's got a cape as well. That'd be fun. Get the old hairdryer out again. Ugh. I'm liking the guy now, and I've got
Oh,
the
yeah.
I've got the other guy riding the wolf now, and he actually looks pretty cool. I found a bigger wolf. So I've joined
Nice.
if you haven't joined Joy Toy on Facebook, Joy Toy One, join the group. There's also a WhatsApp group on there as well, and they show more content. There was a wolf, which is a third-party wolf, not to these guys, but it's a bigger wolf, and it goes well with Space Wolves if you're into that. So I got oversized Ratchet, Truck Warrior. So he's the Studio Series, which is oversized, so it scales with
Boys
MP.
chug designs, eh? Lovely.
Exactly. So this was
That wasn't all we featured on the show, was it last week?
yeah,
That was last
not
week's
very,
news.
yeah,
You got
the
that
news,
quick?
like, so came out, very quick. So he's gonna go with my up the top there. You can't quite see. Those
Going
ones
on
up
a tour.
there, all the movie bots, like double
Uh-huh.
DS bots. So just go with those guys. Got him. I got Streetwise. Came. Everyone see Streetwise?
I think you already had that.
No, X Transbots. That's X Transbots over there.
That must be it.
Is that the one which they're all contained?
Dioramas. I started off in Warhammer shops, to get the paints and stuff, and you get so much good advice, especially when it comes to like painting figures.
It's a very good community. What was your question, Paul?
Is that the one where it's all contained, like the fist and everything? Was that Ocular? What's Ocular Max? Is that the same MMC?
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Every
I've got-
day's a school day.
Masterpiece Trailbreaker.
You're
Not
dressed
on
like
a strike.
Vanilla Ice tonight, Alexis. I don't know. You're not going to break out in a rap song, are
This
you?
is my snowboard hoodie. It's my face
I've done that like
Midday.
4 times so far.
Alexis.
Oh shit!
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That was
You
me,
watching
wasn't
that
it?
special video I
Paul.
sent you? That was just between us,
The
Paul.
music was about to kick in. Anyway.
I got New Age Grapple.
New Age,
Ma-
New Age.
New Age. The
They're
Master
a new
Builder.
company that rips off New Age,
Yeah,
but is very unimaginative in their name.
Hasbro.
Oh,
Not a new age.
Fanstoys or Gas. Fanstoys
Nearly
Gas.
New Age.
Fucking hell! They've got so many Transformers, and like loads of them are like over £100.
I get like I get one order a month now.
Do you need a break?
Do you need an intervention?
Just a little break. Stop for a month.
I think we should have an intervention, but should involve just stealing most of his stuff.
I mean,
that's
And
the
just
intervention.
clearing out
We
his
they
take
room.
it.
do work
we take it
very
away from
hard.
And then I got New Age Ironhide and Ratchet.
Cool.
You need to clear your room, Alexis. You need to stop buying stuff for a while and just like open stuff.
And then I got extra spots.
Oh, that looks
Okay.
quite good. Yeah.
And he actually has the he's all animatronic and stuff as well, like his tentacles flail.
I would like a
Like
chug
Batman.
version of him. A downsized version would be awesome with him.
So I'm gonna put him. I've got the equipment and stuff going on.
I've seen a 3D printed version of him, but it looks like a fucking sex doll with the way the mouth is just open and it's just like gap. It's just like.
Dan just confirmed MMC first aid contains the hand, but Street
I got these. I got these.
No foot.
I got some new snowboard boots, which fit. So I'm really happy about these.
Are they the ones from Back to the Future?
They got a double boa system,
God.
and they're for my extra wide
I
feet.
tell you what, Rohan.
So I'm
back of the truth.
really happy. I'm really happy about.
I often think
That's everything. Yeah, that's it. I'm pretty sure that's everything.
Cool.
Oh, excuse me.
Right, just coming up to half time. So, Andy, can you go next?
Sure. Right. Okay. So I'll start with the non-Transformers thing. Pre-ordered this ages ago, and it finally came through. So I've got my Origins Leech. So Leech was one of the few Master of the Universe figures I had as a kid, and this is the new, more articulated version that looks almost exactly the same as the original, but comes with extra bits so you can swap out his hands and his head, so he looks more like a normal action figure. And comes in the retro packaging, of course. And yeah, these are really hard to find now. And I was lucky that I got it from the Whole Shebang, I think it's called, little online toy store. And this only cost me 21 quid. So
Gorgeous.
yeah, because I was looking at other places and the prices at other places, and there's like 40, 50 upwards pounds to get. But anyway, there you go. So that arrived, which I'm really pleased about. And my daughter said to me, "Can we open that tomorrow?" And I said no. Then the other day, because of the whole Smiths.
Andy, sorry, quick question. What's with his alternative head? Leech's, he's got a two-face.
Yeah, he comes with just more of a kind of. It's more based, I think, on the comic book art rather than the actual toy. So you got like a toy head, as you would say, and then more comic book art head. And comes with two actual hands, but the same bow. It's really weird how the bow is literally the same bow that you got with the original toy.
You couldn't hold the bow, could he? Though.
No, it clips onto his wrist, so it gave the impression he was holding it. But no, he couldn't. He didn't have hands. But it's with mine, my original one, and that one that is up there. That's why I'm pointing it there. That my wife bought me. I think it was for my last birthday. That they're supposed to be able to stick them to the windows just with his hands and his feet, but I never found, even with any of them, that the hands and feet would work. Yeah, the face works. You use the mouth because you've got the little mechanism in the back to press in, and it sucks the air, and that's how you get that little.
I thought he squirts water. He squirts water.
No, squirting water was. You could probably put water in it; it might work. But I mean, the squirting water was.
One.
Oh yeah, Snout Spout. Yeah, Snout Spout. I thought it was. You have a moment where you just go, "Is that his name?" But Grislaw's the other one I want, because Grislaw was the other one of these that I had as a kid. But I just love the packaging. Unpunched as well. It's just this is proper. This has not come off a rack. This has come fresh from the box and then straight out, which is always nice.
Are you gonna get?
Sorry.
You're going to open him ever? Will you ever open him?
I'm really torn because I know that really you should play with them, but it's kind of basically the same toy that it was before, but obviously with the alternate hands and head. And I've got to lose one of them. So do I need to open it when it looks so nice? I don't know. I'll think about it. Then I went to Smith's the other day on a quick run because of all the alerts that we had from people like our good friend Rohan. And I thought, I'll go and have a look just in case they've got anything. My local Smith's in Stockton was absolutely shite. The Transformers section was tiny. There was only one bot that I saw that was discounted, and it was this lad, who I don't have or didn't have. That's Junkions. And it was on for 15 quid, which I thought, go on then, I'll 15 quid. But the box was ripped and damaged. Obviously, it was the last one left. So I mentioned it at the counter and got it for a tenner, which is nice. The only thing is, I do like it. I love the look of it. I actually kind of prefer the look of it almost to the Retgar toy. But this has some of the same problems that my first Retgar had. It's got a really loose waist and it does not want to grip the axe at all. I don't know if you could see it there, that it was falling out of his hand practically. But I do love the look of him and he looks nice alongside Retgar, which
Plus for £10.
For 10 quid, exactly. For £10. I mean,
Kiki juice.
it's so little for 10 quid. And then the last thing... Oh yeah, I know you've mentioned the Kiki juice before. I need to get some of that because I've got a few of them that are a bit loose like that. And then the other thing I got was the Victory Shuttle. Sorry, Galaxy Shuttle rather from
Cool.
Victory cartoon.
I was tempted.
And this is really nice. So it's so nice that for the first time in ages, I actually took a few photos of him, which I will. Not many because we've seen all this stuff before. I mean, Jamie rather has obviously shown off this figure far better than I ever could.
I don't think that's true.
But it was really weird. I'm sure Jamie will remember that I said when this was revealed I had no interest in it because I have no interest in the Astro Train mold, and it was just a repaint of a character I didn't really know. And then the more I saw it, the more I started to actually doubt myself on it. And in hand, he's just so pretty.
It doesn't seem like any mold degradation. It seems like the mold is better.
Oh, it's beautiful. And actually, the weapons and stuff, which I thought would, I wouldn't be, silly red guns. It all looks so good. Anyway, I'm not going to spend a long time on this. It's a long time since a figure has really made me want to sit down, and I've had the time to take a few photos just for. I know I just do this for myself, and then I show them to my wife, and she goes, "Great," and it's just. It just is so. It's nicely painted. The on my version, can't speak for other people's. I know some people talked about the tolerances, like on the wings, but I just found they were a bit stiff at first, and they kind of, it was fine once you moved them a couple of times. I am so not fussed about the train mode, so you will see no photos of the train mode in this. The character I know from Victory was a kind of spaceship and a robot, but he just looks so good tooled up, and then that head sculpt, just the whole look of him. If you haven't got this and you get a chance to get one, then get one. That would be my recommendation. He just is lovely. That's about it. What more can you say? He looks good alongside some of the other Victory bots as well. My camera on my phone didn't obviously, actually not having blurring on it, but there you go. But that head sculpt is just lovely. Cool. I'm not going to zoom in because I don't want to see any paint imperfections and then start getting annoyed. And then just for the hell of it, I stuck in next to Double Dealer because why wouldn't you?
Chuggle Dealer
indeed. Chuggle Doodle Doo. And he's just lovely. I haven't. You may have noticed in the photos, I haven't actually got out the tender thing. The actual. Train tender thing, because I know it turns into his rocket launching base, but it just at that moment I had nowhere to put it anyway, and I thought I'm not going to display it like that, so it's still strapped in, but I will have to get that thing out. But just a really lovely bot, and if you get the chance to get it. I don't know if it's just because I find Astro Train a bit dull and he's grey and he's boring colours, and I've never been that bothered about it. He's my least favourite triple changer from the original 3. Octane's my favourite because I had it as a kid.
Damn straight.
Blitzwing because I loved the jet mode, and the tank mode was pretty good as well. Plus he's a bit of a mentalist in animated. And then Astro Train would be kind of the last one out of the 3 of them. But that really does, it's a good mould. I imagine Astro Train's the same, but I just don't have it. That was my pick.
Ironically, Galaxy Shuttle is Astro Train. He's like the love child of Astro Train and Omega Supreme. Because he's big and useless, the big soft and just carries around. So,
Astro Train or
Galaxy Shuttle?
Galaxy Shuttle. Yeah, I need to think of a better name for him, because Galaxy Shuttle is it's not much of a name, is it? Sorry, he's here. It's not much of a name for him, so
He stayed in shuttle mode most of the time, even when there was a big fight. He just stood there in shuttle mode doing fuck all.
Well, this is it. I mean, I just stick his guns on the back and have his 2 big. I love that big Gatling gun thing. It reminds me of what was the character's name? Jesse Ventura's character in Predator, who carries the big Gatling gun, and I think he's
the one who says, "I don't have time to bleed" or something.
Yeah, I have time to bleed. You have time to duck. Yeah, love all that. So, yeah, very nice. Paul, did you pick up anything this week other than a good TV signal for ITV?
I did actually. So 2 weeks of Transformers pickups. This week I've got the Magic Square Stunticons, which are here, which is from Matt Lucas. So Matt, I bought them off eBay, and I didn't realise it was him. And he messaged me on the groups and said, "That's me who sold you those." And I was like, "Oh, Matt, thank you." So yeah, all 4 limbs, had them transformed. Oh, they're so gorgeous, so bloody lovely, all 4 of them.
Who's your fave?
Who's my fave? Is this one called Dead End, or is this one called Dead End?
Yeah.
This one. It's one of these 2. Don't like Drag Strip. Never liked Drag Strip. Do you know what picked me off? It was Combiner Wars Drag Strip. I got him and I thought, You've ruined Menasor.
Everything for me.
Like completely. So, and
Well, more so
was
than
Menasor.
you feel like that a lot, don't you? You feel like
Yeah.
that a lot about certain Transformers. CJ Face jumps to mind.
got-
You've
I've
ruined
Just get emotional with certain
I've got this weird
Transformers.
image, Paul. Now, of you like,
Spoilers.
like, and because drag strip is basically a child in the full family of like the Silicons. You just sitting there with a child going, you just fucked the whole Christmas, don't you?
Well, Magic Square knew because they've made him like
I never
half a
wanted you.
centimetre smaller than all the other
You were in
Transformers.
accident.
Yeah.
I wanted to hurt your mum to have an abortion.
There's a very good skit between I think it's a British like I can't remember, like couple duo, and there's a kid going, "Dad, why don't you and Mum live together?" Goes, and the kid there goes, "Well, actually, it's your fault because before you came along, we were happy. 2 high-powered jobs, new baby."
Oh, Trossard has been phenomenal.
It's like
Just before we move on, can I just ask Paul, because you were looking for the Motormaster, have you actually managed to find it on its own yet? Or
No, so
are
do you know
gonna
what I've
buy
had to
the
do
whole set?
is I've had to buy the whole set, which I've bought and ordered. And thank you, Rohan, because he's done loads of legwork for me. In fact, he found no one found it, Motormaster on its own, but Motormaster on its own was about 150 quid, and the whole set altogether was about 180 quid. So thanks, Rohan, for finding that. But I said to him, I might as well just get the whole set and sell these because these were about £80, £70.
So you'll be able to sell those to perhaps, say, some viewers of the show who might be interested.
Actually, can I give you? Can I say something, Paul? Actually, because Motormaster, the combiner, doesn't actually need the Motormaster, the individual figure. So you could have the combined mode, and you could also have the individual modes at the same time.
You lovely man. That's a great idea. Or I could throw Dragstick in the bin and have 2 dead ends on my Motormaster and just keep him.
That'd work too.
2 dead ends, like a drag strip. You heard it here first.
So it's 0-0. Rob Holding, that's right, we've got Rob Holding in defence, is holding Haaland. He hasn't got past him yet, even though he's had 2 bicycle
I was going to say that'd be a foul, strictly speaking.
Yeah.
If he's holding Haaland.
Not holding, no, he's holding, like as in he's stopping, he's stopped the H train.
The H train.
Trossard looks so good. Saka's on the right, playing really well. I know you didn't ask me any of this. I'm going to tell it to you.
Let's talk about the FA Cup. Let's talk about what's happening this weekend.
Vieira's had some good. Now the big thing is the Arsenal fans, for the majority of the match, have been louder than the Man City fans.
That's not a surprise, though.
And we're playing at the City Stadium, so there you go. Kiss my face. Right, what's
next?
Aren't
they? I think a friend of mine's there actually. A friend of mine, lives in Manchester. He's there actually tonight. Because I remember he saying last night when we were having a curry, he goes, "I'm there tonight." So it's
Great story. No, it's Rohan's corner.
Rich and fulfilling.
The one which is tonight. Is
Rohan.
Rohan.
Overtime. Recording fine. That's just prime. Super reviews, which will neutralize Hasbro's wave of crimes. Magic Square to the rescue. And New Age has got such super paintwork. Rohan is the mighty power that can save the day. Rohan, no one knows what lies behind his wall of fame. Rohan, always riding hard on Hasbro's trail. Come see the memes he plays every Friday.
Thank you guys. Hello everyone. Super quick video from me this week. It's actually a pre-recorded video, although Rohan's Corner is always a pre-recorded video. So it's no different to what you would expect, but maybe I'm wearing different clothing. Anyway, you can see Slumberbee is taking a bit of a slumber down there. And yes, we're going to talk about the role-playing action-adventure game books that we talked about a few weeks ago, and I'm going to do the first reading. So enjoy and interact.
And to finish off, last week I showcased the Transformers adventure game books. I didn't get a massive response, to be honest with you, but I'm going to read it anyway. Screw you guys. So I'm going to start with Dinobot War. And in Dinobot War, we start with the following. This is an adventure story, but it's not like most other adventure stories. There's one big difference. You are the main character. What happens in the story depends on your decisions, the fate of the Transformers, whether valiant Dinobots will prevail or whether the evil schemes of the Decepticons will succeed is in your hands. Do not read the pages of this adventure game book in numerical order as you would an ordinary book. You should start at page 1, of course, but where you go from there will depend on what you choose to do. Prepare yourself to meet the Transformers. Page 1. You are on your first visit to Disneyland in California. In a single morning, you have sailed safely past a pirate battle on the Spanish Main, crept nervously through a ghost-infested mansion, taken a trip on an old paddle steamer, and plunged on a breakneck ride through a mountain. Now, you are riding on a train that twists and winds its way through Disneyland. You find yourself passing scenes of prehistoric times where animated models of giant reptiles clash gloryfully. As you get down from the train, you decide to look for a hot dog stand. Then you notice some kind of disturbance up ahead. Security guards and police are moving people away from a barrier. Beyond the barrier, you can see a sign advertising a new attraction, now under construction. You wonder, why are these crowds being moved away? So you decide to investigate. Here are your choices. If you wish to sneak past the barrier, please comment page 3. If you wish to climb into the electrically powered buggy nearby and try to drive past the guards, then please comment page 2. So, if you want to sneak past the barrier, comment page 3. If you want to take the electric buggy and drive past the guards, page 2. Let me know in the comments, and hopefully we will find out what happens to you all next week. Anywho, for another week, I've been Rohan on Rohan's Corner. Catch you again next week. Back to the studio.
Transformers, Rohan's in disguise.
Wow. So
That was
we've
quick.
got so far page 3, boobs.
Clearly,
Immature.
right. The electric buggy is a.
I don't remember those books.
Very much page 3.
That's
If they were
it.
done in the UK, though.
Page
Different
3.
page
By the
three,
sun.
everyone. Different page 3.
Page 3 got the choice there. So, right, straight on to R. Can I hear it? Wait, Alexis, show me your ear hole. Show me your ear
I
hole.
heard that as well. He's
Where
not got
the fuck are
headphones
your-
in. Sweet
I
Jesus.
never had them. I've had them. Sam said I have them for 2 years.
Such a lie.
I
You big
haven't.
liar.
You said,
Yeah.
hang on, last week it was 6 months. How come it's 2
Well,
years now?
I'm guessing.
What's it going to be next week?
I can hear
I've had these
myself in
since
the
I was
background.
born.
So I'm going to just remove you
Why don't you go back and listen?
until then.
This could be the whole show.
It's a-
Just me and Jamie. And no, Paul's back. But he's got to go. What are we doing next? Apart from this. Jamie, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, Andy. Thank you,
You see-
for asking.
You seem in thought there. I'm just wondering what you're up to. Watching the Arsenal game. Close.
No.
Come on, City. Oh, Paul's back. Anyway,
right, so what did you want to do? Discussion. Foreplay. Let's do foreplay.
what did
Who's
you
your
want?
favourite Junkion?
Oh, it's
Ever?
just making
I
it
only
up.
know one Junkion. Right, who would like to go first?
I can go first.
Thanks,
Are we not
Jamie.
doing the intro?
All right. Fuck's sake.
You don't have to. I just feels like you're trying to get through this quickly. Can't imagine
No.
why.
Lem, these are sex people.
What do you mean?
That's
Great intro. Right. Now.
Perfect.
Saliba.
I think it's going to go to extra
Go on,
time.
Jamie.
this time, Paul.
Pardon?
Ah,
I
I think the
gonna go to
best
extra
thing that
time.
could happen here is Man City goal. Just to make it not want to watch anymore.
Andy
Before,
Ride.
before we wrap up and you go, right, I'm going into another half hour of this.
I'm only joking. Unless it would work. Anyway,
So obviously, my favourite Junkion was probably the first Junkion I really sort of remember getting to know the name of, at least, and that's Retcar. You know, I used to call him Retcar, you know, but it's Retcar. And yes, and I think it was just brilliant to have. And I did have the older figure, which was, I think, the Generations figure. No, what do you call it? Titans Return, Combiner Wars Junkion figure. And that was okay, but you know, this was the one when we got this sort of good old Voyager class sized Junkion which was Retgar. You know, it was just brilliant because then you could basically turn them into a bike, and you can have hot rod riding them or any bot you would want ride them in a non-sexual way, and sort of relive that sort of, you know, Akira moment. Because the only thing I can remember from Akira was the bikes being killed. Never understood the plot. Watched it as a guy, still didn't understand as a plot, or I should say as an adult. You know, I've always been a guy, but yeah, and you know, and then I think Akira shots were basically what everyone was doing when they got Retgar, which is kind of funny. Like, you got your Transformer thing, and everyone's doing homage to that sort of like classic sort of anime cartoon. And that was like one of my favorite shots the first time when I was trying to meld two pictures together, because it's two different pictures, to make sure everything was like in kind of focus. And it was just fun. He was just a brilliant character, and I just loved you know, playing out scenes with him. And I think that was the thing when you think about what's your favorite character or your favorite Transformer toy. It's that thing that ignites your imagination and makes you recall why you maybe like Transformers in the first place. And it would be because he's one of those linchpins of the franchise to me. And obviously he was quite big in the comics as well, and obviously in the cartoon he kind of took over, I guess, the Ratchet position of like fixing things and being a sort of advice to Rodimus. And it was sort of like the Kaido voice as well, which was brilliant, in the sort of like Zanny sort of type of character that he was. And I just like the boss, she's nipple blasters. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, they're fucking huge. You know, no loss of imagination there. And he's cool. And it's the red eyes I always thought was quite cool, because, you know, red eyes was something that always belonged to the Decepticons. So when you saw them in Transformers the movie, you didn't really know these were actually the good guys at first, because all the indicators were bad. And
They
it's
stopped being
just,
bad very quickly, though, didn't they?
Oh yeah,
It didn't take much. Bar Weep, Grana Weep, Nennybong, and a few Energon treats, and all of a sudden they were all mates.
Yes. Well, I mean, people were running for their lives, weren't they? Run, Daniel, transform, because we're fucked off. We've left you because you're 10 years old or something. Bye.
Just abandoned.
Perceptor
Literally just abandoned.
Perceptor became the fastest
Yeah, you'll
man
be
alive,
fine.
didn't he?
Fight some Decepticons, you'll be fine.
Yeah. And there he is next to Combiner Wars, right, Gar? And you can just see there's the difference. It's almost like here's a Masterpiece version and here's a chunk. You know, if I first came into Transforming and someone else to tell me there's Masterpiece Retgar next to Chug Retgar, I would go, oh, I would believe that almost, you know. And it's just little things. I've seen people with upgrade kits. I've seen people with like hands which open and close. I mean, you could literally turn it into a sort of real masterpiece if you want. And
the problem with that one, though, that Retgar on the right, the was it Power of the Primes?
Power of the Primes, the Combiner Wars, yeah.
It was just really the groove mold and with the changed head and repainted, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't really Retgar. It's just they thought, right, who can we turn this into? Retgar.
Cost saving.
You know, was it the Classics one? What was the one that came before that? I've got it.
That looked, yeah, and it used to be part of a box set. Like a
they did it. Yeah, they did a box set of it, didn't they? And that had a bit more character, but it was a bit
kind of looked hunched,
thin and wiry.
He
did.
Yeah.
Whereas the Studio Series one looks so screen kind of accurate and.
Did they change the size? Did they change the sizes though as well? Though? Did Deluxe become a bigger bot in War for Cybertron? Did they change the size, the scales of the bots?
They've always been changing the scales of the different lines, really, haven't they? Slightly.
The scales get changed a lot. I mean, now they're smaller than they used to be, really.
Like the small bots got smaller, but the bigger bots got bigger. If it makes sense, like because I think
I know, but you see, he should have been Voyager in a way, because I always remember the original G1 toy was fairly sizable for a G1.
And in the
toy.
cartoon, he was about the same size as Rodimus Prime, so
and he was a stocky-ish lad. Wasn't he? You know, he wasn't small.
There's the sort of
I get that
transformation mode. And I think in the cartoon, his bike was for Transformers, wasn't it? He didn't scale down. You know, it
was like the Junkions could all ride each other, couldn't they?
Yeah.
And like you say, they were about the size of, you know, Hot Rod or whoever, and so
bigger, yeah.
So they'd be able to ride them if they needed to.
It's just like being a really fun character, you know.
I like
And
that
it's
last
just
shot, by the way. Your Terminator 2 shot.
yeah, and that's what I meant. It's just so much you could do with that, and he's just brilliant to have, and it's just a delight to have. You know, he's just excellent, and I'm absolutely delighted to actually really have him, and yeah. You know,
Wow, you transform
me,
quick.
you're good.
It's
no,
amazing.
I've got 2 of them, Andy.
What? This is
I know.
totally new information.
You know, because you know, you kind of wanted that sort of like bike mode. I've actually got another picture to show, but if someone else can talk, and I'll
I agree with you, Jamie. He's one of the. He's probably. I'm thinking back. I think like he's top 5 of the whole line of the legacy and like the Kingdom and Earthrise. He's one of the strongest guys. I've got him in my shelf. You saw my shelf that I've got. Like he's pride there.
Oh yeah, I have
on my chug shelf. Him, Spinister. There's not nor there's not many which are like
you need to get a trigger happy up there.
And I bought him because you'll see from my figures that the MP bikes don't do well riding each other. Like they're meant to to do that. But I bought him because I thought he scaled better to ride an MP bike. If that makes sense. And I can grab him quickly at the end before we.
There's the 3 Junkions so far I've got from the chug line. So there you've got Retgar. What's this one in the middle called again? Scrap Hook, and then Junk Heap. You know, and yeah, I think the 3 of them look pretty good together, to be honest. And I was kind of disappointed that Scrap Hook was deluxe size. I would have wanted him to continue to be Voyager size. I mean, I guess he did it for gimmick, and the idea is it could be a combiner with, you know, just because it can transform connected, or it could just take the parts away and you can become part of a weapon system. But yeah, I do wish he was bigger, just to match the other guys. But I do think, you know, they aesthetically, the colours and that they look pleasing together.
I think you're right. On the one hand, you want it to be the same size because then they're all scaling, but then you know that supposedly the rumor is we're getting a Junkion combiner, so that will be why they made the Limbots deluxe size. If that's what it turns out to be, maybe it will. Maybe it's all just a big fake. And
if you want to know what that looks like, an idea of a Junkion combiner, which I don't think there has been one, to my knowledge, but my knowledge is fickle.
Wasn't there a third party one or something?
If you like toys, Lionel Hertz. If you go to his Troy McClure's toy shop on Facebook, he does a Junkion combiner, which has got the does the MP Junkions. So and you use 6 of those because he turns 4 of them into. So I think you 1 each leg, and then 2 1 each arm, and then 2 in the chest. I think, and it's like almost like the wheels are like the wheels become like a rock, almost like a mincer on the chest.
Sounds like how you executed someone. 1 in each leg, 2 in the chest. The way I.
It does. It sounds like sounds like a scene from Inglourious Basterds.
Put a bit of Lionel Richie on. If you can hear us, Paul, find a bit of Lionel.
Do you want me to go next quickly? I've got something up.
Yeah, you can do, mate. I'll go after you, and we'll wait and see if Paul returns.
So I don't know if the camera will stretch. If the camera stretches,
I'm not sure the camera stretch.
I think it does. So this.
Oh, you mean the wire?
That's obviously Studio Series Redgar, and then that's MP Redgar, and you can see
what is going on with his hands.
He's like he does that.
Oh no, I get the pose, but his hands look massive. They look like they've swollen up. Are they the hands he comes with, or is that like something you've added to them?
Individual articulated fingers. That's what they are, right?
Right.
The whole point is
maybe it's the camera, the perspective. It just makes it look really big.
Well, it's
like he's got a giant swollen hand, like one of those foam ones you buy at wrestling events.
So it's like if I take him off here for a second, you can see like obviously this next to each other, effectively. But then if I do
they're the same size.
No, that's the point. But if I put him on top of him, hang on a second. Let me try and do something technical stuff. Right. Now, my idea was that the Studio Series could ride the MP. That was the idea. It might rhyme.
What's it? What's it? I love it. He's been. That's what he's been eating. He's been at the Cheetos.
Exactly. There we go. So.
Something happened.
Look alright.
Saying that our goalie is broken.
That's what he looks like riding the people. Right? That was the idea. Like he would ride it.
So is Retgar your favourite then?
No.
Why are we looking at Retgar?
We are looking at Retgar because this is just a natural flow from Jamie's Retgar.
It wasn't.
This is an announcement. Alexis never listens to instructions or does anything which is team building. He always listens to what people say and does what he wants to do. We've told him now that the whole idea of this segment is to pick one character. And Alexis, he doesn't want to do that. And we have explained it to him because we said maybe we should start calling it 16 play, 20 play. And he'll go, but that doesn't make sense. That means you would have 20 characters. So we go, 4 play.
No.
1 character each, Alexis.
No, because, no. Okay, so the one I picked then was
we've seen the one you've picked, and it was lovely. Well done. Let's go, Andy.
Which one have you picked, Alexis?
He doesn't know. He's still making
no
up
other
his
ones.
fucking
Just that
mind.
one. Don't look around the room. Just look at the one you picked. You're still looking around, aren't you?
I got this one. Junkyard. Junkyard. I picked him because I thought he looked like a better Junkyard. Red guy used to piss me off.
I saw those pictures in the Transformers universe book, I'm sure.
Shut up. Do not bring up private conversations on the show.
That is some top trolling.
That's my train of thought, you fucker. So I didn't like Redgar as a toy. I thought Redgar was just like dull as a toy, and he was really awkward. But Dumpyard,
awkward in a social way. Didn't want to go out partying, dancing.
Wouldn't go to kissing club.
He this guy here, right? He always got the short end of the straw. He had to take on RC. He got fucked over.
Dolphins.
Exactly. He took on Blur. Got fucked over. So he was always my favourite. I liked him. That was it.
That's quite cool. You got the net there when he tried to capture Blur.
Yeah. Net there, and then it's the and then the with RC as well. The
oh yeah, the little
yeah.
That's quite cool.
So he smacked. Oh, sorry, too far.
Blade thing.
Now
we're going into RCs.
Smacking RC, and then you can see at the bottom here.
RC.
It's flailing mace, and it just comes out here.
He didn't have the non-sexual disclosure.
Yeah.
So,
But this is it. So yeah. So if I've got 2 of these, Jamie, I don't know if I have. If I have 2 of these, I'll lend you. I'll give you one, mate. So you.
That's awesome. That's quite cool. Quite like that photo.
So Keith always sends the extra.
You should post this stuff on Instagram, you twat.
I have. This is not a photo. This is not a photo. I'm pretty sure
I've seen that on Instagram. That one, not the one in the net.
You're saying I have, but have you though?
And again, how much Jamie Liddell? This is my photograph that I tried taking of the same thing. I copied Jamie. I tried copying Jamie.
That's a good one to do, though. It's a really hard angle. I literally had to go more top view just so I could have them both in focus.
It is hard. And this is my homage to Jamie that I did. And then I've got one more photograph of all the Junkions, which I will just quickly flash up because where is it? Oh, fucking hell.
Oh,
there you go.
Ooh.
I'm getting the personal photos there for a second.
Yeah, that's all right. It's my little boy's first birthday. I'm not gonna. That's fine.
No, I'm pretty sure I saw a photo of you in bed.
Was that a group of guys there? Was that your kissing club?
Might have been. It might have been.
Was it a reunion?
Might have been. These are all the KFC Junkions. You can.
That was quite cool. I've seen that. That's pretty awesome.
So there is.
You said you've got 2 more.
How did you put on Ultra Magnus? That's that one there.
Didn't you see you've got 2 more figures to put in?
Fucking do. I thought I had 1. I found 2 more. So
he's literally finding third-party figures. That's how much he really does care about third-party guys.
Yeah.
This is the one from the Marvel comics.
He buys all the third. He keeps those companies going, basically.
Yeah. Oh look, I've just hit my foot in this.
And the cool thing is as well, like you can change the shoulder pads and like the fingers on them as well. You can mix these up as well. So if you can make your own ones. Which is
okay.
Cool.
Okay.
So.
One figure.
There we go. Now I've got to go work out what photograph I shared with by accident. Me in bed.
Yeah,
oh no,
I'm
that
sure
was
it
my, oh yeah, I did. Oh no, oh yeah, I will show that actually.
No,
That's
you
fine.
know, no, we didn't ask to show it. No,
That's
it
my
was a request.
that's my shoulder injury.
get
Well,
mixed up.
that's why I fucked my shoulder.
Wasn't
I
a
had a metal plate on
request.
my shoulder playing rugby. That's what that was. That was me. in
When was
hospital.
that?
in his OnlyFans account.
That was like that was 10
He's
years
showing
ago.
a nipple there.
That was
We
10
all
years
saw
ago.
it.
It was. There you go. That was me becoming a violent man. That's what that was. I thought,
Why is it in with all
I
your
thought, I can't
photos that
remember.
have been done in the last couple of years?
Yeah.
That does not answer the question. Anyway,
No, that I just found it. I thought, oh, bloody hell, that came up there. I think it's called. It was a screen grab from Facebook. So I thought, because I was like, yeah, so we have to go back and try and find it. I was like, oh, do you know what? I screen grabbed it. So it came up on my history, Facebook. So I thought, oh, okay.
Jamie, I'm assuming you're in charge. Can you share this picture just quickly?
Oh yeah, sure. Just got to find the one you're Andy. Yep, at the stream.
So this is just something.
I
that
didn't want to
shows
share
the
my
names.
private collection again. Oh god.
We'll come back. You can take us on a tour of it. They're supposedly the kind of official Junkions that kind of we've had named in the past. Junkyard, who's now Junk Heap, who's in the top left. I always liked them, and I always liked the design. So Retgar obviously is the obvious one, but I always wanted a figure of Rubbish. Now, if you remember, Zorty, old Rich, he bought a third-party add-on kit for a Retgar that he got cheap to basically create that character and that
Good
look.
kit. It's a good kit.
I'd like one of them. It does amuse me that, like it does for whoever created this, that the female
Junkyard,
called
not Dumpyard.
Well, no, officially he was called Junkyard, but they've now changed his name to Junk Heap because they couldn't
I
get
got scrap
the
heap.
what you call it.
I've got all these guys. These are all the guys.
Down here. Yeah. Well, this is where yours come from. This is where the third-party
this is it.
companies have taken the
Oh,
ideas.
from Nancy. I haven't got
Oh,
Nancy.
Nancy. Oh, she'll be on the way.
I just wish the third party one would work on Junkyard and turn Junkyard into Rubbish, because that would be easier because he's easy to
this
pick
is the
up.
thing. If you're asking me which like look of a Junkion I like the most, it would be Rubbish. I like the look of like that character design for a Junkion. If you're asking me what was the one that was most close to me, it was Retgar, which obviously, I mean, because Retgar was the only Junkion for a long time that we really knew. But the one whose design I like the most as a figure and would be Junkheap or Junkyard as Alexis called him. Just because I think it's more interesting. I don't know if it's just because we've discussed this before that I'm not a massive fan of that whole it has to be cartoon accurate. I just think sometimes Retgar looks a bit too smooth. Like there's just not enough detail on him, whereas this one just is visually just a bit more interesting. So as a figure, Junkheap, as a character, it's got to be Retgar. I don't see how you can kind of pick anyone else because none of them do anything majorly. Oh, I think it's Junkheap in the comic book, the one where Unicron's head's on Junkion, and he's kind of
can't remember.
Oh, and then he tries to warn Death's Head that it was all a trick, and Unicron knows they're there, and then he gets obliterated. It's the only other Junkion I ever remember. Yeah, he did. Oh, no. But yeah, the other one was Rubbish. If I could have another Junkion, the next one, it would be Rubbish, but they've got to give him a better name than Rubbish because it's just a crap name. It's Rubbish. Moving on. Paul, if you're there, are you going to pick a Junkion or have we lost you for the night?
Hello, I'm back. Who's got Boy Racer outside?
Noise.
House?
What? Who's watching
Whose
a
house was
video?
that?
Alexis, is that you? Are you watching a video?
I could have a boy racer near me that sometimes is a boy racer. I did hear it as well. I didn't think it was me though.
Oh.
But it came from the roads that way, so it could be. I could have football.
What? Yeah, so I don't know. Probably Optimus Prime. If I had to choose one, it'd probably be Prime.
Favourite Junkion, Optimus Prime.
I only know Retgar. Is there other Junkions other than
You're
Retgar?
allowed to pick. Yeah, we just showed
I
them.
loved
Are you
Retgar.
not
Was it
watching?
Eric Idle? Was it Eric Idle who done the voice?
Yeah, he
to...
did the voice.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely.
The only
brilliant.
other the really good Junkion, or at least version of Retgar, was the animated one, voiced by Weird Al, which is just brilliant.
Yeah.
To have Weird Al voicing a Transformer at all, but he did Retgar, and in the Transformers animated, and he was great. But he turned into a rubbish truck as well. He just didn't have the rest of Junkions and this.
Ian's asked if we put the TFM photograph I had up. He saw it. He saw it sneakily. Saw my photograph, which was this photograph here from the amazing TFN meetup in London. So with Billy and Pete and Dave and Peps and everyone there. Which is,
Don't lie, that's a kissing club. You all know the truth.
Could have been. Yeah, but who knows what happened after
Should I
that?
say
Who
the
knows
new
what
kissing
happened
club?
after that, we don't talk about that. So,
No, we don't
Yeah.
talk about what happened after that.
it was good.
It became more than a kissing club. Yeah.
Right. So Optimus Prime or Wreck-Gar. Lovely. Lovely stuff. What we got left? Discussion?
Yep, discussion.
Oh, can we just finish the show now? Should we just save it for another week? Oh, dear.
Come back in if you want to, Paul.
It's enough to drive you to drink. Has he gone again?
I kicked him.
Oh, you kicked
Why?
him?
Why?
Oh, my word.
He's a zombie. Paul.
Sharp. Right, discussion time. Discussion. It's discussion time. It's discussion time.
We now return to the Transformers.
Oh, dear.
Why do we all still have our clothes on? Good question. So discussion tonight,
Questions.
we are going to talk about what Transformer boat represents us the most.
Well, I've changed my
City
mind.
of
I'm
Score.
going to explain it. Shall I explain it? Because it was my silly idea, so I'll explain it.
It wasn't a silly idea. It was really good.
Okay. Okay. So
Explain your good idea.
So Andy posted the.
Oh, Zinchenko's.
Andy posted on Facebook
Zinchenko's.
earlier. So the idea was it was a bit of fun, like a bit of pub chat. Each of us were going to select a character from the Transformers universe that we felt most, and I'm going to change mine for Paul suddenly. most we felt were most characterized towards our co-hosts. So each of us will pick one for each of our colleagues, our friends, and then the person that has the free selected for them will listen to the pitches, a little bit like Room 101 or Room 0101 if you watch.
Listen to the pictures.
Yeah, you
You
can't just say you're wheelie, haha, cunt. You got to go. No, you've actually got to give a genuine reason behind it.
Trust
So
me,
I
Alex,
I've got a
I can.
reason.
I really can.
I picked Ultra Magnus.
That's all list
because
off
of-
by Alexis's wheelie.
I
Right.
picked Ultra Magnus. I picked Ultra Magnus because of this reason, right? And then the person who who's obviously get all three pushed towards them decides which one they feel is most appropriate, so they can choose their own character. They get a selection of three, and they can choose their own character.
They choose the one they think is well.
Exactly. And then what we'll do as well, we'll open up to the chat as well, and anyone else that wrote in for ideas as well. That why does it say Paul's device is not connected?
Optimus Prime.
Has he gone? He's not gone, has he?
Is he disconnected? I can't get him back on. He says he's turned off. He's taking his camera out. He has actually gone.
If you're there, Paul, knock twice.
He's not there. He's gone. He's disconnected.
Well, what's one?
He's gone all GoBot, disappeared from all proper cultural reference. He's gone all...
Oh, maybe he was having problems. Or maybe Man City have scored. I'm not sure. Somebody's put goal. Is it a Man City goal by any chance? Somebody's Rowan's put might be because Arsenal are losing. Oh, come back, Paul. Yeah. Take it from a Newcastle fan. You get used to losing every now and again.
It's just throwing it in.
Actually, really just twice this season. Don't, I wouldn't broadcast it live.
Hang on. That was him answering twice this season. He's still listening.
No, I said twice this season.
Is he going to put a phone call on?
Yeah, don't put a live phone call on.
Don't put a live phone call on.
It's not. It's a FaceTime, but.
Jesus Christ. Oh, it's the Transformers universe book all over again.
That's the nicest.
He's answering. Right, okay. We'll crack on then. So, yeah,
his message just bless. We can all relax. He's fine. He just really wants to watch the last 5 minutes of the game. Bless him. Do you know what, Paul? I'd probably do the same. Except I'd just watch it and ignore you all.
Have Newcastle ever been
We now return to the Transformers.
Okay,
You got
Alexis,
these, Andrew.
do your picking. Go on.
So I was going to get the TF wiki up to actually put the things on to share. So I'll quickly just do that whilst I'm.
You're actually going to show the whole wiki? You haven't downloaded the pictures?
No, I thought I'd just show the wiki because then we could delve into the.
It was your own good idea.
That way we could delve into the actual.
Yeah.
I've got characters. So who should no, I've got characters. Who should I pick for first? I've got each of you like nailed.
Well, no, aren't we just going to do one person and then the other three all go round and give their thing?
Yeah.
And then
So who's
otherwise
first?
it's going to get.
Who we pick? Should we pick for Paul first, and we'll let the audience? So we do Paul first.
Trust me, Drew. Arrowfire's got. We've got his number. Sorry, who are we going to do first?
Do Paul first.
I'll do me. No, wait, that sounds wrong. Not click that sound.
Are we doing you?
You fine. You can. Yeah. If it gets it started.
If it's on
Go on, because I don't know if we'll get Paul back. Actually.
Yeah. And I'm
do we have to fill for 5 minutes?
So for you, Andy, I had Senator Ratbat.
Why?
Yeah, go on then. I'm fascinated to hear this one.
Well, Senator Ratbat, right? Because you always say you're a Decepticon, but we know you're one of the good guys, really. And Senator Ratbat was a good guy. Yeah, he was a little bit. He did things that occasionally were bent the rules, but he was a good guy. He was part of the Senate, and he got turned into a Decepticon, but that was by people he followed. And that's technically what you are when you're on our show, because you're good, and we just bring out your dark side when you're on the show. So my whole thing was like, because obviously, and being a senator as well, you speak a true voice, and you also speak, what was it? You also speak.
You don't understand. Senator Ratbat was corrupt.
Very articulated.
I mean, he was corrupt. Then he was not
for the people. I think you speak to the people.
I don't think he spoke for the people.
You do. I think when you give your opinion on this chat, a lot of people get behind you. I think a lot of people get behind your opinions on the chat. I think you do raise good points.
Chat.
So
can you
just I think you were drawn into the dark. You were drawn into the dark side, and we are the dark side, right?
Go on. Anyway,
we've captured you. We've turned you into one of us.
You've not turned me yet.
So I don't think you are. So you say you're a Decepticon, but I think you're pure at heart. So therefore, Senator Ratbat. That's mine.
But he was a bad guy.
He's not a bad guy, really.
I'm not sure you've really read that. But, you know what? It was an interesting choice, and I like it for that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Go on, Jamie. What was your choice for Andy?
My choice for Andy was Perceptor, actually, because I think Andy's quite perceptive. He has quite a very good knowledge across the range of all the Transformer lore, especially in comparison to us four as a group. And I just think he always comes out with interesting facts. He's always like the bedrock when we're not really sure about something we can go to Andy. And if Andy doesn't know, then it's panic stations. So to me, he's basically a Perceptor. He's very dependable. He's very well spoken. He makes things quite clear. He can go into a lot of detail, but then he can drum it back when asked for a sort of simpler sort of version. And I think that's a great asset to have. I think it's better to be able to go into great detail and to dumb it down, or to give less information, and than to go the other way and go into very poor information and not able to build up. So yes, for me, he's Perceptor.
And it killed Optimus Prime twice.
Perceptor.
No.
Movie. And then he's the one that actually transformed.
Hang on. Perceptor killed Optimus Prime in the movie.
Well, yeah. Well, he could have saved him, but he didn't.
I almost want to hear this more than I want. Come on, let's hear this.
No.
He killed him by not saving him.
And he's the one that's turned Jim Ryan to Victor Leo. He's the Doctor. It was Minerva, Perceptor, and Wheeljack.
Hang on, why is Minerva getting away with this?
Oh, don't worry about it. Anyway, and Paul, what do you think?
Oh dear.
Paul, I'll ring Paul now and ask Paul's opinion.
Don't disturb him during the game.
Ring him.
Oh dear.
Hey mate,
he's gonna love you.
Who do you
Yes,
think?
there's an
Andy. Who do you think Andy should be?
Scourge.
Wheelie.
I like Scourge, but Scourge.
Yeah, who do you really think he should be?
That's the other thing. You always have to. You can't assume these things. Lord Zarek. That's an interesting question. They said Lord Zarek.
Bombshell because he was really Skywarp. That's a good shout.
No, Bombshell because you mean Cyclonus? Have you just ruined your own joke by fucking?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know,
who does the chat? Who does the chat think?
Oh, there was so much effort in that joke. I feel almost bad.
To say that.
Who does the chat think that Andy should be?
Bailey, to be honest, I think Bailey's a far better character.
Oh, Nick, I get you now. The beard.
Yeah. Who should Andy be? Who should Andy be? Have you got a third choice?
What was that? Alexis is really what? Often talks bollocks, but is strangely adorable. Oh dear.
Someone's trying to get into kissing club.
Oh, that was lovely.
Right, so you haven't got a third one at the moment, Andy. So if you want, you can hold off.
Shall I hold off? Yeah, I'll hold off
choosing
one.
Paul might come
I've
up with
got
absolute,
some it's a very difficult choice already.
Absolute, gem of a set. So, Jamie,
Right,
do you
we're
want to
gonna
do
do
next? Or shall I go next? I don't mind, Jamie.
Well, I mean, I thought we were just going. So you do the next person, Alexis, and then we go continue.
Okay, so I'll do you then, Jamie.
Right.
You've heard that before.
Yes, too much.
Let me just get into position.
So, Jamie, can you do the flipper noises? No.
Jamie. So, your time has come.
This is
for you, Jamie. I picked Cup. Because and it was one thing stood out. One thing stood out to me more than anything else when we always have a chat is I love your bloody stories, and I think no one tells a better story than Jamie Liddell and Cup Liddell. So it was you're reliable. You've been here from the beginning, and it was a case of you always know something. You could, when no matter the situation, you always pull upon some piece of knowledge that is useful, and I think that is and you'll never hear me say that you're right. I'll always argue with you, but I think in your heart, you're correct. I'm not admitting you're correct, but in your heart, you are, and eyeballs never grow.
That's kind of sweet.
There you go. That's my choice. Andy?
Oh shit! I have to go now, don't I? I keep thinking Paul's going to speak, but he's not at the moment. I've forgotten who I chose for you, Jamie. Now, oh yeah. So I was torn between two: one Decepticon, one Autobot. I'm going to go with the Autobot one. So I actually thought Jamie was quite like highbrow. Now I'm thinking of highbrow from the comics, because in the comics, highbrow starts off, and he's a very opinionated bot. He's very intelligent. Some might say too intelligent. He knows a lot about a lot of subjects, and he's not backwards in coming forwards and giving his opinion on them, which some people don't always like. But he's also, especially once he becomes a headmaster, he's extremely brave. He becomes almost like the leader in the comics of the Autobot headmasters, or at least at times it comes across that way. He's very honourable, and also my favourite of the Autobot headmasters, but that's just a happy coincidence. So yeah, I was going to go with highbrow. My other choice, which I will quickly mention, was Shockwave. But that was just because of his use of logic and the fact that if you piss him off, he'll destroy you. But I'll go with highbrow because I think it matches Jamie's character more. He might sometimes come across as very opinionated, and as I say, not everybody always agrees with what he has to say. A lot of people do, though. But he is very heroic overall. He's a good guy, and he's somebody you'd want on your side.
Oh, that's too sweet.
Also, extremely tender lover, and very gentle, and he always leaves you satisfied. Wait,
We have to stop this. No,
it's like a loving now.
I'm sure Paul.
I was expecting us all to be really nasty to each other. Right, you're so and so because he's a dickhead. That kind of thing. That's what I thought it was going to be. There you go.
Well, that guy, he's a right cunt.
Yeah. Which is not a word you often see in the Transformers. Shit piece. That's what you should be called.
So, Farrell, should we go Farrell again, or do you want to do me next? Do you want to do me next?
We'll do you.
I will say, I do need a quick comfort break, and I'll knock at my door as well, so I need to go.
Comfort break.
I'll be back in a minute. You guys, fill, okay?
We're just gonna fill while you go to the pause knife. He's gone, and he's gone. Oh dear. What's the chat saying? Sorry, I haven't had a chance to really look. So Ed saying Ratchet for you, Jamie. Again,
yes,
a very heroic character, especially again in the comic books, IDW comics as well. You know, doesn't take any nonsense. Are you very superstitious? You know, religious, all that kind of stuff. The IDW Ratchet, he kind of didn't believe in all that nonsense, as he called it, until the very end. There you go. Jamie is IDW crankcase, can get annoyed, but is funny with it, according to Windsweeper. Jamie is brainstorm. They also do. Jamie is brainstorm, always thinking big and deep, just like the way he loves. Ed thinks he's probably hotshot. Oh dear me. Jamie has the stoic look of Alpha Trial.
He's old. He's going to hit the buckets and then Rohan will be the fourth member.
Oh dear me. You're right, Ian. Double dealer. I'll always be happy with that. Why not, eh? Yeah. And everybody else is too scared to say. Oh no, here's Lily. Lee's put I'm probably G1 cliff jumper, I think. Don't always get things right, but I mean well. Oh, it's quite a good choice, that one. I like that. Alexis is Drift, daft as a brush.
Drift's quite a cool character. Not saying Alexis isn't cool, but Drift's got a lot of you know, I was thinking if I had to, like, I mean, obviously Alexis, is Alexis listening in?
Probably. He usually is when he goes to the toilet.
He probably has the speakers in full blast, you know, because I think Drift has got a couple of character traits from the Drift I've read about, definitely what Alexis has.
Drift is an interesting one.
What do I have, sorry?
You certainly have some of the character traits of Drift. But, you know, when I was thinking of Alexis, you know, what would it be hard? And it's almost like he's a trio of them. I think it would be between Hot Rod, Blur, and Wheelie. I mean, I think if you could amalgamate all those three characters together, you would have an Alexis, because he's definitely got the personality traits of all three of those characters, and he does like to rap and try to do rhymes. Don't always come off like Wheelie didn't, you know. But then he's like, boy, he's very fast thinking, he's fast moving, he's already moved ahead and left other people in the, you know, the dirt. And I think that's very much what he is like. He's a character, and he loves taking, you know. I think he's like the bar from G1 and almost like the bar from IDW. He likes to be a bit of centre stage, but it's because he likes to be pushing himself and having fun, and he likes to take people with him, you know. Because there's a lot of people who like to be centre stage, but then they want to leave people behind, and that's when he stops being like the bar. And more like the Blur who learned, you know, to be a team player, because he wants to take people with him. And then that's why I think he's a bit like Hot Rod, because, you know, when it comes to Hot Rod, he's fun-loving, and, you know, he also likes to take a gamble and be carefree, but he likes to be with a group of people. He likes to make sure everyone else is enjoying themselves and are part of the conversation. And then he's very excitable and fun-loving, and that's why I think he's like Hot Rod, Blur, and really, and I think it's the best positive parts of all of those characters. I don't want you to think of the negative parts of those characters and think about Alexis, because it's just not there. You know, you know, he may have killed Optimus Prime.
So weird, because all three of those characters went through my list for who Alexis could be. I went through all three of them at different points today. Alexis was going to be any one of all three of those characters, because pretty much the same reason.
Yeah, and I think that's something which is, you know, he brings the thunder, he brings the storm, you know, he brings the excitement. You know,
Like
and I
wheeling, just like
think-
wheeling, just like wheeling.
Yeah, he brings.
Just like
he
wheeling.
brings
He might get you killed, just
You know.
like wheeling. Oh no, wait, I mean the hot rod.
It
Sorry.
takes a man of that personality to make a new kissing club of Arrowfire, Rohan.
I don't know how to make a kissing club with Arafat. I mean,
Yes. Beyond in that dolphin in the bathtub. I mean, that's just, you know.
he's not joking. It was real.
Yes.
Bugger to get it out of that aquarium.
I
but there
think
you
it's
go.
a conscious selection. Splash water on it, it'll be okay. But yeah, no, that's my, I would say, amalgamation of those three characters, War, Relay, and Hot Rod. And I would say really the sort of positive aspects, and and I hope you get from those three characters is the fun aspects of them,
No.
you know. So yes, that's my choice.
And I haven't spoken yet about you, have I? I don't think I have. I'm old now, so I'm forgetting things.
No, you did. You said
Not,
I was.
not recently.
No, not about you, Vinny, about Alexis, sorry.
No, you haven't. You haven't picked Alexis yet.
Yeah, well, I was going to pick Hot Rod for many of the reasons that Jamie's already said, so I'm not going to go over old ground again. But yeah, same things, really. Yeah, just kind of, it felt like it suited you. Especially because you are a very good guy who just sometimes, let's just say you're a bit rash like Hot Rod is. You know, he's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to do good things. It just sometimes not always thinking them through.
Kills Optimus Prime.
And then, yeah, occasionally he might get you killed. You know, you take these risks for a good time. You do. You know, why not, eh?
You're though.
Live fast, die young, leave a relatively good-looking corpse. You know, whatever. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, but yeah, it's exactly the same kind of thing, really. And now all we need is Paul, who will be listening now and will rejoin us in 3, 2,
He ain't back.
1.
He ain't back yet.
Oh, come on, you bitch.
Is
They must have lost by now.
Paul's not watching, right? Has anyone know the score? Is it still 0-0? Has it gone to extra time?
I was under the impression it was 1-0 to Man City, but I don't know if that was just Rohan on a wind-up.
So Paul,
No, it's 1-0 to Man City.
Paul's just crying then. Is it finished then? Is it in there?
No, I think. Well, I think it's about the 87th, 88th minute.
You know, it'd be really good for the Premiership if they actually. You know, it's what I loved about
It's
the
not
World
the
Cup.
Premiership, mate. It's a cup game.
Yeah, but the English League then, like the overall, the English, like the way that we play, like the rules overall are the same. What I loved about the World Cup was that how they paused. They gave the proper injury time. It'd be really good if they actually brought that into like the English leagues across, you know, the televised leagues. All of them really. Like the fact that
yes and no. Although it'd
be hard. I think it'd be harder to police lower down.
We were having like 11, 12 minutes of stoppage time.
It was like 90 minutes in one game.
Absolutely not. It was mental. And you don't need that much, but it's just there's a disparity anyway, because with stoppage time in games, you know, they don't always add it. There was one game they worked out there was 8.5 minutes of stoppage time, so there should have been at least 8 minutes added on, and the referee only added on 5. And he stopped at the end of the 5th, even though there'd been 2 stoppages during that 5 minutes. That again, he should have added on time.
Isn't the trouble with that? It would start to increase injuries, wouldn't it?
Well, you'd think so, because you've got the tired players who are having to play on longer, and thus are more likely to do something
and
to
then
themselves.
They had the
or
idea
someone
of
else.
the increased substitutes. Then
No,
that
but
would
you-
kind
I
of
mean,
solve
well,
that.
no, I
But
mean,
that would
that's-
increase injuries as well, because
Well,
then you'd
that
have
might be a
healthy
good- that might be a good
players
thing,
coming on and going against a very tired player, so they wouldn't be able to take the same tackles or holds.
Yeah, but maybe increasing the substitutes might be better because again, more players get
No,
a game.
because in all activity games, you know, where they've actually tried that, especially rugby union and rugby league, it's increased injuries where they've actually decreased the substitutes. Yeah, because as I said, you're bringing on a fresh, strong player against tired players, and the tired players can't take the same.
Yeah, but
hits.
football is technically a non-contact sport, so.
But it's freaking not.
It's never been a non-contact sport. It's never been a non-contact sport.
It is because you play the man, it's a foul.
Yeah, but
Can't
it's
play
not
the man.
always a foul. You can still make contact with a player and it not be a foul. You
I didn't
you
say
need to
that.
watch
I never
football.
said that. There's a great.
You just said if you play the man, it's foul, but it's not always. You can go shoulder to shoulder with somebody, send them absolutely flying, but that's not a foul. It's just you were
Yeah, but
stronger
you're
than
still
them.
playing the ball.
You can go into a tackle and you can be stronger than them as long as you get the ball.
No, so you still play the ball. And you still
In
play
fact,
the ball.
we played it the other day, and one of their players in the box went over the top of the ball, touched the top of the ball, but then came down and stamped on our player's foot, all in one. Obviously, it's one quick movement. which is extremely painful when somebody does that. And arguably, people were saying should have been a foul and a penalty. But the argument was, well, he's touched the ball first, so it's not a penalty. Yet you can still have a free kick where the player's gone through, touched the ball first, but then clattered the player, and then that's
all about
a free
intent,
kick.
isn't it? It's all about intent, though, isn't it? It's all about intent. And this is why, like,
offside rule the show.
It's
Oh, let's not get into the offside rule. That's an
Okay,
absolute
should we,
freaking nonsense.
I mean,
The offside rule doesn't apply when it's Man United.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it
Sorry,
afterwards, right? Let's chat about it. It's a good conversation. Let's talk about it at the end. So should we go on to Mr. Farrelly then?
As we watch the subscribers talking about football.
Mate, we're gaming. We should see how many frigging subscribers.
We are now down to minus 12 watchers. Okay, cool. Right, so shall we go on to Farrelly? Who wants to go first then? I don't mind going first.
Yeah, you go first.
So for Paul, I picked Trailbreaker. For Paul for many reasons. One, Trailbreaker is very tall. Trailbreaker is reliable. He's like the glue of the Autobot family in the first.
What? Are you
Hear me out. In a sense, like in a sense, like when
Ian, we'll see in the final.
When we get into trouble in certain situations, he does kind of bring us back together. He always keeps us on track. He never promotes himself as a sports car. He always says he's slow and sluggish, but he is reliable in that sort of sense. He has a lot of tools, a lot of gimmicks. So like whenever like there's a situation like he's got his like
somebody's just pointing out Paul's not here. How is he reliable?
Yeah, because I would say Paul's more like Mirage.
Never seen him. You asked me to go first.
1 minute, he's on the next.
Right. So he has like how many different gizmos does Mirage have in the sense of like the options he has just built on him? From his like force field to also.
I don't know. Let's ask him. Wait, he's not here, just like Paul.
There's a Paul.
But he's got Mirage. Mirage has got charm. He's devilish. He's charmed.
I'm pretty sure. Trailbreaker can also do like holograms as well.
Good physique.
Sure Trailbreaker can do holograms
he's
as
got
well.
full of charm.
Trailbreaker can do holograms.
You know.
He's so many times Trailbreaker came up with a new thing in season 1 and 2. Like it came, he's like, I got this, I got that.
Reliably unreliable, Ed.
He used to do a lot of training, didn't he? Andy?
Like
Paul.
And
who's that?
No, because
Paul used to do a lot of training, exercise.
Yeah.
Okay, so who's done all the shows, little memes and quirks and things, all those little videos and things? It's Paul does all those intros and things, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure Mirage could do that. I don't think Trailbreaker ever did anything like that for Transformers.
I would say Trailbreaker does all that as well. So, Mirage is quite.
I love that you're arguing about it now.
Trailbreaker was actually in charge of the Twitter account for G1 Transformers.
I think he's more likely to be in charge of Instagram. He didn't get updated much.
So Trailbreaker was one of the original art crew. So he was, and Paul was one of the original art crew here as well.
Paul is Whirl.
So was Mirage.
A psycho who murders people. You'll love that windsweep. Reliably absent. What was Mirage actually your choice then, or was that just a really good choice?
It's my choice because I think Mirage.
Hey, would you go next?
Mirage was a cool character. Whatever way you got to say about him, he was a cool character. He was. I mean, he did stuff, which. He was sneaky. I mean, he was part of S and Arch and stuff like that. I'm not saying that Paul was sneaky.
I mean, you kind of just carry on.
But he was very intelligent and confident and reliable to himself. And I think Paul's like that. He's very, very independent, and he's quite.
We'll let Jamie talk.
No, let's go back to when we're not zoomed in. I know. Let's try to create the impression.
Paul's got a lot of answers for giving Alexis any kind of power here. Yes.
Yes, and I think when I think about G1 characters, it's hard to think of like a character which could be better than Paul. I mean, for me, I was always thinking about Inferno. The best.
Yes, he did, Andrew.
But I just think we don't really get to see enough of the true Inferno in the G1 cartoon and in the comics. But when I think about, if I could meld two characters, it would be Mirage and Inferno, because I like a lot of the strength qualities that Inferno has, and I think Paul can have that, and Paul does have that,
And
you
like
could be that-
Inferno, Paul's very likely to throw us out of a moving vehicle.
Yes,
to
save our lives, though. But
yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
Or if he's annoyed.
But but you'll have the power to do that because we'll be like, no, don't.
Not yet, Ian. 799 still.
Yes.
Oh,
you can
dear.
play us like glove puppets, but yes. Probably hands with Alexis.
Oh my god, is it 5 to 10
I
already?
feel hand, but yes.
Oh, sorry. Have you got something to be? Paul's already left. You can give a date as well.
Yes.
Oh.
Cheers, Andy.
Yes.
I'll said it before and I'll say it again. Take that power away. Right, is he coming back? He can't
His
be
camera's
finished
not
yet.
back yet.
No. Right. All right. I'll go. I was going to pick Springer. And it was mostly because he again is, especially the movie version of Springer, is a cool character. He's very laid back. Even when things are going completely tits up, he doesn't let things really kind of knock him off his balance or anything like that. He always keeps his cool, keeps his head, and Paul is mostly like that. But he's also funny. He's got great one-liners, and Paul's got such a dry wit. He always comes up with some great line at some point to take the piss out of something or someone, and he picks up on things people said. He's so quick with it as well. And again, I know it's how the character was written, but Springer was like that as well. And of course, just like Springer, he's got better things to do tonight than this show. So he is off watching Arsenal. And that's another reason why you'd remind me of Springer. But I just think also Springer's a leader. And he kind of, let's be honest, at the start, it was Paul that pushed to kind of like, we should do this podcast, when it was just a podcast that we, recorded the video. It was just the audio that we put out. And then he was like, oh, we should do this on YouTube because it will work out better and we don't have to pay for the podcast stuff that we had to pay. And
now we're on Twitch as well.
And on Twitch. I always forget about the Twitch. So hello all to all the Twitch.
If everyone does Twitch Prime, by the way, and you don't subscribe to anyone,
all three of you on Twitch instead of you.
If you don't subscribe to Twitch Prime and you don't subscribe to anyone, put the old Jeff Bezos, the Amazon Prime stuff. Put down Transformers on the show. Why not?
Yeah, what he said. Oh, he's back. He's back. He's probably not heard a word we've said about him. Hey. So that's why I think Paul is wheelie.
Yeah, cup anyway, isn't it? Like
you'll watch back the episode and go, you bastards.
So Andy picked Wheelie for you, Paul. I picked Kremzik, and then and Jamie picked RC.
I had you as Blur, Jamie as Cup, and Andy as RC because you got lovely long legs.
And
right, we've done our three. We've done our three.
You really didn't hear any of it, did you?
So we'll do a very quick recap.
What it was because I got told the goal like 2 minutes before it happened. I had a bit of an epi, and
is that why you left?
I had to leave because I couldn't let that happen again because it crushed me. So
I'm going to be honest. I completely sympathise with Paul here because if I'm watching Newcastle in certain games and we lose, I frigging go in such a dark mood.
Did you
I have to go
lose?
for a walk or something. But...
Do you know what?
Have you lost?
But
you
we
have
lost
lost
1-0. But I watched the whole game. We were the better team. Like definitely.
Was it Haaland who scored, or
no?
What were the other great strikers?
Ake, the defender. Which, when you think like we've had Zinchenko the whole season, and all the commentators have been saying like, well, who would you have? Like, would you have Ake or would you have Zinchenko? Everyone's like, oh, yeah, we'd have Zinchenko.
Left back Zinchenko.
Yeah, Ake has come and scored. Like,
he's not even a left.
Gee, it sure is boring around.
Sorry, I slipped. I really slipped there.
You gave him the power. This is on you, Paul.
When I get off this, I know how to get it back, and I will do.
Fucking do it, mate. Fucking do
so
it.
enjoy your last week of having any.
To be honest,
because he'll go mad now. He'll go full Kremzik on us and start messing with everything.
But yeah, who did you say for me then?
If when you went here, it would have. You got Jamie
Alexis,
and me.
Who
We
did you say for
carry
Paul?
it.
Who did you say for Paul?
So I said Troublebreaker.
You don't have to go over the whole thing. Let's just say yes.
Jamie, who did you say?
Who for?
For Paul.
I said for Paul. I said Mirage and Mirage and Inferno. I said, if I could ideally have a character could describe them, I would really have to pick the best qualities from both.
Both wrong. Get Andy.
And I said
did
Springer.
You go for? Oh no, it was Omega Supreme. Omega Supreme. So
That's not how this works. You have to pick one out of the three.
You've got to pick one out of the ones we've.
And you've not heard any of the reasons, but we're all lovely.
Even did reference to famous episodes and issues from the comic.
We put up photos that actually had you and the character to show the comparisons between the two.
And
I've always said
like
so
a- like a
it's
sentinel,
into your
really.
Friday.
Yeah.
Clashes with football. It's a silly time to do it.
Go back and watch the last 10 minutes.
It is a silly time to do the football at 8 o'clock on a Friday night because that's when we do this.
I love Premier League on Friday.
Why
and
don't
Monday
you end the
night.
show, Paul? Why don't you do the? Well, actually, Jamie, who are you picking at? You're free. Who did you pick at? Who is your? Actually, wait a minute, Paul. Paul, who are you going to choose? Who are you?
Oh yeah,
gonna
Paul, you have to
put
give
forward?
out your choices for
Paul,
us three.
You've got to give a choice for each of us.
I picked Cup for Jamie
Why?
because he's old and moany but intelligent.
We're getting the
Picked,
abridged version
for you,
now.
Alexis. I picked Blur because sometimes I think you're on crack, but you do make me laugh. And I generally did pick. Oh fucking hell! Fanstoys quality control on this shit. RC for Andy because you do have lovely long legs and you are the prettiest of all of us, and you hold us together like glue. So
Oh dear. The only really disturbing thing about that is the way I know Alexis looks at his RC toys. So that's.
well, you should see the way I look at you,
Now you.
It's so
Now you.
awkward.
especially with the glasses.
So the funny thing is though.
Fucking Jack Grealish wanking himself off in the commentary afterwards because he's
I
won
hope
the
not.
4th round of the FA Cup. Oh, well
So,
done, Jack.
I think the interesting thing about that whole selection, right, is that two of us picked Cup for Jamie for very different reasons. Two of us picked Blur for me for different reasons, and then and there was two of us picked Hot, and then you both
Hot
picked Hot
Rod
Rod as well.
for you. It was Hot
Hot Rod as well.
Rod for you, wasn't it?
Yeah. So Jamie, you've got Cup, and you've got who'd you pick, Andy?
For Jamie, I picked Highbrow.
Highbrow. So Jamie, would you want to be Cup or Highbrow?
What was your choice?
Highbrow.
Oh no, you both picked Cup. That was it. Yay! You picked mine.
Yeah, I would be
Do I
highbrow.
win something?
And
Other
then,
than respect and pride.
no, you just get a nice
It's a
warm
cool
feeling,
show.
and that's just because you wet yourself.
It's a
Andy,
it's on fire with these tonight.
Andy. So you've got a choice of RC. You've got Senator Ratbat, and then Jamie. Who did you pick again? You picked
Andy's Perceptor.
Perceptor. So do you want to be Perceptor?
I love the way
Ratbat,
the fact
or-
Maybe said Andy is
I
perceptive.
remember.
It's not a debate.
Remember, like, so Senator Rat, not Ratbat.
That's
Senator
so
Ratbat.
highbrow.
Senator Ratbat. Do you want
To be
Perceptor
fair,
or
it's
do you
not
want
much of a
RC?
choice for Andy. He might go for Ratbat just because he's
Do I
evil.
want to be
kill.
Ratbat?
Andy, who do you want to be?
Do I want to be that female Transformers sex doll for Alexis, or do I want to be Perceptor?
Microscope.
I'm going to say no. I'll go with Perceptor. I will go with Perceptor because I like Perceptor. Why not? Not that I don't like the other ones, but
Who create?
Ratbat was a very interesting and creative choice, though. I will say that.
I will
still
say.
not quite
I
sure
will
the logic
say Perceptor the other way.
Interesting.
He created Victory Leo. He didn't kill Jim Rai. He created Victory Leo.
I like that. Glass half full.
I'll say around. Paul, who are you going to pick then? Between your three guys, you've got Mirage, Inferno. You got four actually. You've Mirage, Inferno,
Mirage Inferno Hybrid.
Trailbreaker, and then Andy, you picked
I picked Springer.
Springer. So
Movie
who are you going
Springer,
to pick? Who are you going to pick, Paul?
Oh, movie Springer. The three you chose were Trailbreaker, the most boring Transformer. I'm basically a Muslim cash guy. Thanks.
Hey, go easy on the cash guys. I'm
I
not
had
saying you're
good
wrong.
reasons.
But
I had good reasons.
I'm a cash key. If I'm a cash key
I know
guy.
you are, but
Good
not for much
reasons.
longer.
I'm a fellow Lexi.
You know you're getting outside.
And then clearly, I'm going to pick Hot Rod.
Cash guy?
Because
No, it's
who-
already
if
cash
you-
guy.
if-
That doesn't work.
Let's face it, right? If you had a choice of Hot Rod or Blur,
Lexus,
right? Who are
Lexus.
you going to pick, right? You're going to pick Hot Rod. So the
Java,
new
Blink.
fantastic.
So I picked Hot Rod for you. Does that mean I've won? I got 3. Do I win something? Yay, I just cried.
No,
Yay,
it's,
3.
it just creates new dreams.
People pick my
and then
choices, surely.
Jamie,
You get to do the outro.
maybe next week you and I can do a Chug and MP
Yeah,
scale
right.
in the new dreams, the new Fantastic Four. So The new Fantastic Four is Springer, Hot Rod, Preceptor, and Highbrow. The new Fantastic Four.
I don't think he's. You're all right there, Jamie.
Yeah.
Are we done? Are we saying goodnight?
Trailcutter in IDW is not a better choice because we all know what happens to him.
No, I like Trailbreaker. I like Trailbreaker because he's reliable and he's got a lot of tools. Paul, I said you created all the. Oh, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do after show.
He's literally just looked on a shelf and go, "What's near me? Trailbreaker. That'll do."
Shut up, Paul.
Oh, thank you all for joining us. And if you've stuck with it this far,
follow us on Twitch,
God love you,
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and if that's you outside the house, I'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, and if you watch us on Twitch, the difference to YouTube, there was no interruptions at all on Twitch. You have the full show. I didn't duck out at all on Twitch, did I? I was there. We discussed the whole thing.
If you watch the Twitch version,
where,
not only was he there, but he showed bonus content.
Yeah.
So you missed out.
And did anyone see the photos of Alexis naked he accidentally flashed up? I did see that. I didn't imagine that.
Only on Twitch, baby. Only on Twitch. It was just so small.
They are
anyway.
sponsored as well.
Enjoy it.
What, Sad Trombones?
Command.
that is our sponsor.
Sponsors Sad Trombones.
That's our
people
2023 sponsor, that is.
Watching, if you could just go and buy a ticket for TF UK Con,
TF
that'd be great.
UK
We're up to
Con.
32
there.
tickets now, and yeah, that's it. That's it. If one of you could fucking subscribe, that'd be great. But not two
Get
of
a friend
you.
to
That would
subscribe.
annoy me.
Ask your
really
mum,
annoy me
whoever,
if two people
whoever's on
subscribed.
YouTube. Your dog, create an account for him, whatever.
Right, babes. Night. See you next
Peace
week.
out.
Thank you for watching.
Peace out.
Apologies